from elbow surgery. Coming up, one of the longest tenured Cubs next on The Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Number number 48, Daniel Palencia.
Are you a current or former military service member, first responder, emergency medical professional, or government employee? The Nationals would like to honor your service by offering you up to 40% off tickets to home games this season, plus a bonus concessions credit. To get your exclusive discount, simply verify your eligibility for free online with Nationals partner GovX. Visit govx.com. That's govx.com. Or go to nationals.com/govx to learn more. Thank you for serving our country and communities. See you at the stadium.
Hey, boss. Gotta go.
It's only 11 a.m.
Yeah, it's important, though.
Well, can it wait?
Ugh, not really. It's the Nissan Now Sales event. I can save on an award-winning Nissan like the Rogue, new Pathfinder, and Frontier.
Your report is due today.
Yeah, you're right. Nissan is #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands by J.D. Power.
This is your job.
Well, it's called Nissan Now, not Nissan Later.
What?
Anywho, don't worry. I'm going to take you for a spin.
Get 0% APR on the 2026 Nissan Rogue, 2026 Nissan Murano, or 2025 Nissan Pathfinder for well-qualified buyers. For J.D. Power 2025 US IQS award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Example: 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary, subject to INMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 3/31/26.
Opening day just hits different.
And C.J. Abrams has a leadoff home run in the second deck.
There's nothing like it. The thrill, the cheers, the game we love coming to life again. Declare your natitude Friday, April 3rd. The Dodgers come to town and the party's on all weekend at Nationals Park. RSVP now at nationals.com/tickets.
This is the Washington Nationals Radio Network. Carpal tunnel syndrome. Heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Welcome back to Nats on Deck here from Wrigley Field in Chicago on opening day. And this portion of Nats on Deck is brought to you by the Center for Advanced Orthopedics. More physicians, more locations, more advanced care centered around one thing you. Visit CFAortho.com. Charlie Slows, Dave Jagler back with you to talk about this Nationals opening day roster that was finalized yesterday. And they face a left-hander for the first time, so Blake Butera trying to get Dave as many right-handed bats in the lineup against Matthew Boyd. But this team is more of a left-handed hitting lineup, so not so easy to do.
If you, before spring training started, had Joey Weimer as the Nationals opening day right fielder on your bingo card, I'm not going to believe you. But
With the optioning of ultimately Robert Hassel and more surprisingly Dylan Cruz, Weimer earns a spot on the opening day roster, and because he's a right-handed hitter, he is in the lineup. Now that means the Nationals, who have only 4 true outfielders on their roster, are playing all 4 of their outfielders with Dalen Lyle, the opening day designated hitter. So if the Nationals have
50th anniversary team presented by Motorola Razr at Cubs.com/150. Now to Wrigley Field for the national anthem.
Elise Baker as she honors our nation with God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
And now please remain standing and join John Vincent as he honors America with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free?
Big career numbers against the Giants for the guy they call Big G, who has driven in a run with the 3rd straight hit to open the 5th inning. There's a little one, another one head for no man's land, but Harrison Bader read it well. Former Gold Glover comes up to make a very nice catch. So first and second with 3 runs in and still only 1 away. Franked up and sent into the right center field gap. McMahon's going to score easily. They're going to wave Wells around. 5-0 New York. 2 balls and a strike to Matt Chapman. Chopper for Jazz. Hot shot. I could watch Jazz Chisholm play. I mean, he plays with such joy. He is so much fun to watch. Only David Cohn, Ron Guidry, and Mel Stottlemyre had opening day starts of 6+ innings, 2 or fewer hits, and no runs allowed.
Time for the great mascot race. Ready, set, go. And they're off. Look at them go, folks. They're neck and neck. It's a wild crowd. Down the home stretch. Here they come. Here's the play at the plate. It's Captain. Congratulations. You won the great mascot race.
We play in Toronto. Guerrero sends over some good stuff for the guys, so when we play in Toronto, I definitely dive into that.
You gotta be careful with Vladdy, bro, because a Dominican breakfast will put you to sleep, bro. ¿Cómo está sonando la comida dominicana ya?
La comida dominicana ya no sé cómo está sonando, porque obviamente mi esposa me cocina. O sea, hay restaurantes, pero no voy a comer comida latina.
You're going to be healthy, and you're.
It was a defensive play so iconic that we simply call it the catch.
This is the glove Willie Mays had when he made that catch. This is great.
Oakland pitcher Dave Stewart was named the World Series MVP.
It really comes from like the kings of Siam would give their courtiers white elephants, which were sacred animals.
They need to know this story. That's amazing.
From that perspective, got the group together for the last 5 days and really spent, because it was super hot in Phoenix, we spent a lot of time kind of inside and talking to each other, and I think that was helpful too. And so we feel like we're in a good spot. And you're right, this is day one of a marathon, and as baseball people, you have to treat it as a marathon, and that means that, like, emotionally you have to kind of regulate yourself, otherwise you burn out. And so we're in a good spot for that, and our guys are prepared for it, and we have very clear goals in front of us, and that's what we're going to keep in focus for the marathon.
When last year you guys had a great season, 92 wins, you won a playoff round, and when you come into camp this year, some of the things for this marathon you thought you needed to focus on to get to 100 wins or whatever that number is, or really just World Series team. What was the focus? Did you have one or two things that you wanted to get accomplished coming into opening day and into the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to just treat this season as like how sacred it is and how every day is important. And I think one of the things this group is good at is doing that, is treating every day as really important. The season, like we talked about before, because it's so long, it tends to dull you from time to time and just puts you on cruise control, and that's something that we can't do. If you want to put up a big win number, like, you can't do that. I mean, it's just not giving anything away, whenever possible. So just keeping that front of mind for the group, I think, is an important cultural thing that we need to do. That means the details are really important. That means health is really important, and so stressing those things, we can be great at the details, and we try to talk about the details so that it's front of mind. And that's how to me, look, you're not going to win a lot of games if you're not talented. That's right. First. You have to have really good players to win 92 games. Mm-hmm. And so when you get in that world, then it's just about, can you every day handle the details to get those extra wins.
Anything with opening day that in your past that stand out to you, that you went, well, this is big leagues opening day, or do they all kind of blend together a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they do. This is like, I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you the number. I think we're in the 30s. So there's some blending, if you want me to be honest with you.
I agree.
But I do think when you think about that, then I also think about, this is Moises Ballesteros' first opening day. So you try to put yourself in the shoes of somebody that's going through it for the first time, and I think that's always been helpful for me because of the excitement that someone like that has for today and the nerves, and you kind of in a way, you wish you felt like that, right?
Really, absolutely.
You really do. So I try to put myself in those guys.
Here's Schwarber. Schwarber grounded out his first time up. That ball's crushed deep to right field. Hernandez doesn't even move. It is long gone. It's off the roof of the pavilion in right field. Kyle Schwarber, his first postseason home run of the year. It's his 22nd of his career. And with a lightning strike, the Phillies tie it up at 1.
Well, I would say Kyle's second time through, I like the approach.
Wow. Well, the first home run for the Phils this postseason.
The newfangled idea of the time was night games, and teams thought that the shiny material of satin would reflect the stadium lights better. But satin comes with all kinds of issues. Despite all its drawbacks, this shiny material really does create a show-stopping jersey.
Left center Profar sprints over. Oh, he lost it. It looked like it was going to be a really good play for Jurgen Profar.
He did not see that ball. He didn't even come close to it.
These interactions between De La Cruz and Tito Francona have been priceless.
Come on, Ben. Got it there.
Yes, indeed.
And the ball wasn't the only thing that landed in the basket.
What in the world happened out there to Jung-Hoo Lee?
That's wild. I mean, you don't see that in the big leagues.
I believe this one's it's a rookie card, I know, but I feel like it's the first card that I ever, big league card. Obviously, as a kid, trying to get to the big leagues, the dream of making it. But as a kid that had cards, right, as a kid, this is like seeing your card the first time is pretty cool. So that's pretty powerful when you see that card.
I feel like food and sharing a meal with someone is a universal language. You can't go to a ballpark and not have a nice hot dog. So if I'm at the ballpark, I'm gonna get a nice heavy glizzy. You gotta have chili on there, you gotta have cheese. If your hot dog isn't bending in the middle because it's about to fall apart, then you're not doing it right. So you gotta have a glizzy and then something cold, whatever it is, beer, lemonade. You gotta have something cold to wash that hot dog down with.
Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
This is Chicago Cubs baseball with Pat Hughes and Ron Coomer on the Cubs Radio Network.
Chicago baseball fans, Ron Coomer here. Spring in the city means the return of baseball and the start of backyard season. If you're thinking about upgrading your outdoor space, TimberTech Decking combines advanced innovation with the beauty of real wood without the maintenance. Built for resilience through the Midwest weather, it's designed to perform season after season. Order free samples or connect with a contractor near you at TimberTech.com. TimberTech, everything wood should be.
It's March, and that means it's the perfect time to start betting with Circus Sports. Whether you're betting throughout the mayhem of college basketball or sticking to pro basketball and hockey, Circus Sports is sports betting the way it should be with no bet fees ever. From betting futures to props on your favorite players, Circus Sports has everything that you need. Plus, a new enhanced in-game system so you can place the bets you want whenever you want. Download the Circus Sports app or visit circusports.com today. You must be 21 or older. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, Cubs fans, make history with your business in the Village of Bedford Park. To learn more, contact Adam Colopy at ACOLLOPY at villageofbedfordpark.com.
This Odyssey Sports broadcast is brought to you by Geico. Switch and save. Get more with Geico. And now, Odyssey and 104.3 The Score bring you Chicago Cubs baseball on the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Gone! Three-run homer. Ian Happ is going to be gone. Three-run homer. Pete Crow Armstrong. Now Bush drives one in the air. This ball's got a chance. Gone! This is what you came here for. You got the Cubs game on the Score.
Chicago Cubs baseball is presented to you in part by the Volvo XC90, Benny's Beverage Depot, Benjamin Moore, Grand Appliance, James Hardy Building Products, It's Not a Game, Illinois.com, Old National Bank, Sea Glass Wine, Sloan, Southwest Airlines, Xfinity, your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers, and Yingling, the oldest brewery in America. And now, here's the Hall of Famer, Pat Hughes, and All-Star Ron Coomer, with all the exciting play-by-play action of Chicago Cubs baseball.
Chicago Cubs baseball is on the air from Wrigley Field in Chicago. It's opening day as the Cubs take on the Washington Nationals. Good afternoon, everybody. Along with former Cub and All-Star Ron Coomer, it's Pat Hughes reporting. Zach Zaidman working alongside. Our great engineer is Paul Zarang. We all welcome you to opening day, a very special day here at Wrigley. It's cool, it's cloudy, it's breezy, and we'll get to the particulars regarding the temperature a bit later on, but it's dry, and that's the best thing you can say. This game is going to start right on time in just a few moments. The pitching matchup, left-hander Matthew Boyd will start for the Cubs. Right-hander Cade Cavalli is on the mound for Washington. Ron Coomer lets me know it's 53 degrees at Wrigley. Windy, the wind chill is probably, I'd say 45, somewhere in that neighborhood. But again, no rain at this point. Let's go ahead and get to the starting lineups. Brought to you by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. For the visitors from our nation's capital, James Wood leads off in left field for Washington. Andres Chaparro at first base. Brady House batting third and playing third. Dalen Lyle is the designated hitter. Lyle batting cleanup. Joey Weimer in right field. C.J. Abrams at shortstop. Batting seventh and playing second base, Nasim Nunez. Keibert Ruiz catching, and batting ninth, the Washington center fielder, Jacob Young. Those are the Nationals. Here are the Cubs. At sold-out Wrigley Field, here's the way they'll line up today. Under manager Craig Counsell, it'll be Michael Bush at first base. Alex Bregman at third base. Bregman to make his Cubs debut. Ian Happ in left field. Pete Crow Armstrong batting fourth and playing in center. Nico Horner at second base. Carson Kelly catching and batting sixth. Moises Ballesteros, the designated hitter. Dansby Swanson to bat eighth at shortstop. And batting ninth, right fielder Matt Shaw. We are ready to go. The Cubs are on the field. Opening day right around the corner. Back to get it started right after this on The Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
This is Chicago Cubs baseball with Pat Hughes and Ron Coomer on the Cubs Radio Network.
Baseball season's in full swing, and you can hear the crack of the bat again. It's a time for fresh starts on and off the field. If you've been thinking about selling your house, Jeff from Jeff Buys Your House has the best game plan.
We keep things simple. No repairs, no cleanout, no commissions. You get a fair cash offer, and you pick your closing date. From first pitch to final out, we're with you.
Give them a call at 630-556-8892. That's 630-556-8892 or jeffbuysyourhouse.com.
We are ready to go. Full house at Wrigley. Standing room only, at least at this point. Fans are on their feet. Nothing quite like opening day in America, and I think in particular, Ron, here at Wrigley Field.
Boy, it really is. When you start talking about the ballpark, you know, the Cubs in their 150th anniversary, there's just something about coming to a park like this, you know, and this is where I grew up. Tradition just oozes out of Wrigley Field, and it's kind of the same way with opening day, don't you think?
Absolutely. As James Wood steps in, we're ready to go. The first pitch, swing and a miss, and we're underway. Matthew Boyd rearing back and firing a nice 94-mile-per-hour fastball past the left-handed swinging James Wood. And now the 0-1. That's a fastball in there for a called strike two.
Today's game time weather, 49
Game time temperature 53, brought to you by Four Seasons. Four Seasons, your trusted local experts for heating, air conditioning, plumbing, sewer, and electric. Swing and a miss, strike three. That didn't take long. 3 pitches, it's a strikeout. That's a good way for a starting pitcher to get a game underway.
Boy, what a way to start opening day for Matthew Boyd. It's game time. That makes it the perfect time for a Flight by Yuengling. At just 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, packed with flavor. Flight is the next generation of light beer. From the oldest brewery in America, look for Flight wherever you buy beer.
No score, just underway. Chaparro drives one in the air to deep center. Back on the warning track is Pete Pro Armstrong to make the catch. That ball was hit a ton. Most days that would be way out of here, but the wind blowing in held that ball in the park, and PCA made a running grab on the track about 390 feet away.
At 11 o'clock this morning, it was 25 degrees warmer, and the wind was howling out the straightaway center. It's not that way now. It is blowing in at about 25 miles an hour and kept that ball in the yard.
2 down, no score, top of the first. Brady House will take a strike. Game time temp of 53, sponsored by Four Seasons, your trusted local experts for heating, air conditioning, plumbing, sewer, and electric. Here's a swing and a miss. Cubs in their home whites. The blue pinstripes all over, the blue hats and numbers and socks. These fans are fired up. Listen to them already. The 0-2 pitch on the way. Just outside to Brady House. Nationals in their traveling grays, red numbers on their backs, gray shirts and trousers, navy blue hats with red bills. And now the 1-2 to House. Swing and a miss. 1, 2, 3 for Matthew Boyd. Nationals don't score after a half. No score, Cubs coming up on the score, and the Northwestern.
Big career numbers against the Giants for the guy they call Big G, who has driven in a run with the 3rd straight hit to open the 5th inning. There's a little one, another one head for no man's land, but Harrison Bader read it well. Former Gold Glover comes up to make a very nice catch. So first and second with 3 runs in and still only 1 away. Franked up and sent into the right center field gap. McMahon's going to score easily. They're going to wave Wells around. 5-0 New York. 2 balls and a strike to Matt Chapman. Chopper for Jazz. Hot shot. I could watch Jazz Chisholm play. I mean, he plays with such joy. He is so much fun to watch. Only David Cohn, Ron Guidry, and Mel Stottlemyre had opening day starts of 6+ innings, 2 or fewer hits, and no runs allowed.
Cubs leadoff man is Michael Busch. Leadoff man is presented by Benny's Beverage Depot. If Michael gets a base hit, Benny's Beverage Depot donates $200 to area service dog charities. If you can't find it at Benny's, it's probably not worth drinking. No score. The right-hander Cavalli deals a high fastball that Ruiz, the catcher, failed to get a glove on. He reached up. It was straight over the catcher's head, and he just kind of let it go. It's ball one. Bush, Bregman, and Happ against Cavalli. And the next pitch in there for a called strike. Ron, what's the plan for the Cub hitters against this right-hander Cavalli?
Well, you better be ready for the fastball, in particular on a day like today with the wind blowing in. He can rush it up there in the high 90s. That last heater, 97 miles an hour.
Swinging a foul back by Bush. Michael had a huge season a year ago. 34 home runs, 90 runs batted in. When you're a leadoff batter, Ron, and you drive in 90, that's a big season.
It really is. Michael, one of the more consistent hitters in all of baseball last year, not just with the Cubs.
1-2 pitch, ground ball toward third, fair ball, bouncing down the left field line, off the sidewall. Bush going for a double throw to second base. Head first slide, it's a two-base hit. Michael Bush, almost an excuse-me swing. He hit it the other way. The third baseman house well off the line. It goes for a two-base hit.
That's just called living right. He did. He took a little three-quarter swing and just chops one down the third baseline, just inside the bag at third, and then just kind of goes down off the side wall. So leadoff double, Michael Bush.
Here is Alex Bregman making his Cubs debut. Right-handed batter. And the pitch on the way to Bregman. It's inside for a ball. Ron, we saw him in spring training. What were some of your first impressions of watching Bregman as a ball player?
Wow. It was a wow. I the very first day I watched him on defense, doing all his defensive work, and I thought, wow, this guy can really play defense.
Fastball inside 2-0.
Because you and I have seen him play through the years together, and we know he can hit, right? You know he can hit the ball out of the ballpark. He can hit. But the total package of the game to me, as I got to watch him in spring day after day, very impressive. Leadership qualities, too, off the charts.
Ball 3-0. The two-base hit by Michael Bush, by the way, a reminder. Doubles by Cubs batter, sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Reliable, comfortable, convenient. Southwest just makes sense. 3 balls and no strikes. Actually, it is going to be a strike. The automated ball strike system.
Yeah, Ruiz challenged that one, and he was right, the catcher.
So it is 2-1. We'll explain that system as we move along. The pitch on the way to Bregman, swing and a miss. The count 2-2. Bregman is not real tall, but he is sturdy. He's strong. He's got power. He's an excellent glove man. He's a clutch hitter. And let's see if he can drive in the game's first run with Bush at second. Nobody out, bottom of the first inning. The big right-hander Cavalli deals. The ball popped up foul and out of play. Cavalli is a big man, 6'4", 245. Born in Bixby, Oklahoma. He's 27. Missed several starts because of Tommy John surgery. Made his big league debut in 2022, but because of that surgery did not return to the big leagues in 3 years. Now the 2-2 on the way. Bregman takes outside, 3-2. Ron, it's a spot where, yes, you're trying to drive in the run, but at the very least you want to advance the man to third.
Yeah, you want to advance him to third on a day like today in particular, with the wind howling in a cold day. You know, this is typical Bregman. No, he's going to make you work. You know, he got behind in the count, and now all of a sudden it's 3-2.
The lead at second by Bush. The pitch. Ground ball wide of third. Diving stop by House. He gets up and throws to first in time. What a play. Holding at second is Bush. Bregman pulled a ground ball to the hole on the left side. The third baseman, Brady House, made a headlong diving stop, quickly got up and made a wonderful play for out number 1.
Really can't do it much better than what House does. He goes to the hole. It shows great range at third base and then is able to get to his feet. The one thing you're going to know, soon if you're a Cub fan about Bregman, he runs well.
Ian Happ, the batter. Switch hitter batting left-handed. He'll take a strike. Alan Porter calling balls and strikes. He's one of the very best umpires in the big leagues. Jim Wolf working at first. Roberto Ortiz, the second base umpire, and Alex McKay working over at third. And the pitch, swing and a foul back by Happ. It's 0-2. Uniform description sponsored by Benjamin Moore. On the field or the walls of your home, the right team and colors make all the difference. Official paint of the Chicago Cubs, Benjamin Moore. Great to have Benjamin Moore back and all of these great sponsors on Cubs radio. And there is strike 3 called. Happ caught looking, and he's out on a 3-pitch at bat. 2 down, no score. Bush still at second, and the batter is Pete Crow Armstrong. This will be interesting, Ron. You've got a right-handed batter, Horner, on deck. Let's see if Pete gets anything good to hit here. They might work around him.
Yeah, you could throw some pitches, around the zone and see if he'll chase.
Here's the pitch on the way. Pete takes a strike. Now, here's an interesting thing. House is in shallow at third, but with 2 outs and a man in scoring position, a cleanup batter, I'm not looking for him to bunt here, are you?
Not at all. No, I think for Pete, hitting in a spot he's hitting, he's trying to drive this running.
Here comes the 0-1 to PCA. He'll take a breaking ball a little bit high, 1-1. The announcement of the umpire sponsored by Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. This big crowd ready to cut loose with a man at second and 2 down. And Pete swings and misses. The ball gets away from the catcher Ruiz, and advancing to third is going to be Michael Bush. Pete Fool did not take one of his better swings, and I think maybe the bat blocked the vision of the catcher Ruiz, Ron. At least it looked like that, as Ruiz had the ball get past him and bounce all the way to the screen.
Yeah, it's a slider inside, or that knuckle curveball inside. I don't think Ruiz was expecting him to swing. And I believe you're right. He probably blocked the vision of Ruiz, and the ball goes to the backstop.
2 outs, a man at third. The pitch, strike 3 called. The Cubs squander a leadoff.
Getting traded to Boston from Chicago. You see here the traditional jersey. I love a road jersey because it says where you're from, and this is simple, clean, and cool. And then you see this patch right here. This is from the 2013 postseason run, which was unlike anything I had ever been a part of, to punch through and hoist that trophy. Boston strong forever, baby.
Big career numbers against the Giants for the guy they call Big G, who has driven in a run with the 3rd straight hit to open the 5th inning. There's a little one, another one head for no man's land, but Harrison Bader read it well. Former Gold Glover comes up to make a very nice catch. So first and second with 3 runs in and still only 1 away. Franked up and sent into the right center field.
Qualify. See details at turbotax.com/free. No schedules except for EITC, CTC, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
Chicagoland, step up to the plate. If your garage floor is cracked, stained, or worn out, it's time to torque it. One-day installs, in-house team, built to last. Visit TORQcoatings.com. Tough floors. Start with torque.
The winning lineup for your home starts with the appliance experts at Grand Appliance. From large capacity Electrolux laundry to versatile Frigidaire kitchens, Grand Appliance brings together the brands that help your home perform like an all-star. And with fast delivery and professional installation, Grand makes it easy to upgrade your home with the latest appliance innovations. Shop grandappliance.com or one of their 12 Chicagoland locations to learn more. That's Grand Appliance, Chicago's hometown appliance leader since 1930.
Illinois Bone and Joint Institute, a leader in comprehensive orthopedic care. Visit IBJI.com for locations.
Cubs and Nationals scoreless after one. The first inning, powered by Invesco QQQ. Let's rethink possibility. Invesco Distributors Incorporated. Pat?
And Zach Zaidman speaking there. Zach, great to see you again and have you back on the crew. As we go to the second inning, Dalen Lyle will swing and miss 0-1. How you doing, Zach?
I'm excited. The atmosphere here today at Wrigley Field is like a playoff game.
Swing and a miss, and the count 0-2.
The crowd sitting on every pitch, getting excited every time the ball hits the bat. You gotta love it.
Now, Ron, you were a Cub fan as a kid growing up here in Chicago, and then you had the great thrill of playing for the Cubs. Here's the 0-2. Drive to right, pretty well hit. Back goes Shaw on the track, leaping and makes the catch. That Shaw had a little more room than he realized, but that's not a comfortable feeling, Ron, when you're an inexperienced outfielder playing here at Wrigley and you're running back toward that brick wall covered by just brown vines at this point. So you could tell he was aware of the wall, but he made a very nice play.
He made a great play, and as we know through the years, right field, wind blowing in and blowing across, very difficult to play out there, but he went back and then went back far enough to be able to leap right at that well and make the catch.
Joey Wiemer is the batter. Wiemer, the pride of Sylvania, Ohio. Big right-handed batter. Slightly open stance. And the pitch on the way, and it's
94-mile-an-hour fastball by Boyd.
1 ball and 1 strike on Wiemer. Boyd, a quick worker, coming back. This ball is hit in the air, deep to left, down the line, trouble in the corner, and that ball is going to leave the yard for a home run for Joey Wiemer. It looked like a low inside breaking ball, and he golfed it out of here. And even though the wind is blowing in from left field, that ball cleared the wall by plenty, Ron.
Well, as you were talking about, Wiemer, big, strong guy, and he drops the head of the bat on this ball down and in. And that one just cut the wind. There's no other way to describe it. That is a long way to hit a ball into the wind here at Wrigley to left field.
So it's 1-0 Washington. Wiemer with a solo home run. C.J. Abrams is the batter. And C.J. takes ball 1 from Matthew Boyd. Boyd coming back. This ball is swung on and missed. Boyd getting the great honor of starting for his team on opening day. He was a solid part of the Cubs rotation a year ago. Swing and a miss, and the count 1-2. Boyd made 31 starts in his first year as a Cub pitcher. 14 wins, 8 losses. But when you break it down, Ron, at home, he was particularly dominant. Here is a foul off to the left, out of play. He made 15 starts here at Wrigley Field. His record at home was 12-1 with a great ERA of 2.51.
That'll make you a fan favorite in a hurry.
Swing and a miss as he dropped down sidearm for a good breaking ball. And he strikes out C.J. Abrams for out number 2.
Little tight slider by Boyd there. He's hit 94 so far today. Speed gun as always, and great to have Xfinity back. Powered by Xfinity, reliable Wi-Fi. At one price for 5 years, Xfinity. Imagine that.
Nasim Nunez, the batter. And he will look at a fastball high. You've already had a challenge in this new challenge system. You get 2 challenges per game. If you lose your challenge, In other words, if you challenge it and the umpire turns out to have been right, you lose that challenge and you get a total of 2 per game plus 1 in each extra inning if it goes that far. Here's a swing and a foul off to the right, out of play. Challenge is sponsored by Northwestern Medicine, and a big thank you to Northwestern Medicine. They are a primary sponsor of Cubs radio this season. So welcome aboard to Northwestern Medicine. Swing and a miss in the count, 2-2. Whenever we talk about the defensive alignment, that's sponsored by Fitzgerald Equipment. Material handling handled. Learn more at FitzgeraldEquipment.com.
And Pat, the second inning is brought to you by Sea Glass Wines, official partner of the Chicago Cubs. Brings you California coast to you wherever you are. Sea Glass Wine. It's great to have them back this season.
Strike 3 in the inning.
I went to college at Northeastern University, and all my friends were Red Sox fans. And while in my 3 years there, I really grew to appreciate Red Sox Nation and everything that they bring to the table. And once I got my head wrapped around the trade, I was really, really excited. I think they have one of the most iconic logos, these 2 socks right here on the sleeve. I love keeping it simple, really fond of the font, and I think it's a really cool look.
Big career numbers against the Giants for the guy they call Big G, who has driven in a run with the 3rd straight hit to open the 5th inning. There's a little one, another one head for no man's land, but Harrison Bader read it well. Former Gold Glover comes up to make a very nice catch. So first and second with 3 runs in and still only 1 away. Franked up and sent into the right center field gap. McMahon's going to score easily. They're going to wave Wells around. 5-0 New York. 2 balls and a strike to Matt Chapman. Chopper for Jazz. Hot shot. I could watch Jazz Chisholm play. I mean, he plays with such joy. He is so much fun to watch. Only David Cohn, Ron Guidry, and Mel Stottlemyre had opening day starts of 6+ innings, 2 or fewer hits, and no runs allowed.
This Monday, March 30th, the Cubs take on the Angels in the first night game of the season. Up to the first 8,000 early arriving fans will receive a 1988 replica cap inspired by the cap given out at the first night game at Wrigley Field, presented by Mascot Lighting, proud lighting partner of Wrigley Field. For details and tickets, visit Cubs.com/tickets. Pat?
All right, Zach, second inning. Cubs trail by a run. Nico Horner to lead things off against Cade Cavalli. Nico takes a low breaking ball and the count 1 strike. Nico hitting in the number 5 spot here on opening day. Carson Kelly on deck, and then Moises Ballesteros. Lights are on. It's cloudy. It's breezy and cool. And the 1-1. Nico will take a fastball high for a ball, 2-1. Washington has been in a down cycle ever since winning the World Series back in 2019, when Washington beat Houston in a very unusual World Series where the visiting team won all 7 games. Here's a swing and a foul back. But they have been down ever since, Ron. They've had 5 straight losing seasons, and they have not even been within 20 games of the 500 mark in any of those 5 years.
Yeah, kind of a strange situation. They had some, after the World Series year, and Davey Martinez, the ex-Cub, and Cubs coach managed that team, and they had some injury issues.
Nico swings and misses. Strike three. A high fastball gets him. 3 straight strikeouts for Cade Cavalli. One away, bottom of the second, and Carson Kelly, the batter.
But at the end of the day, when you stay in a down cycle, it's a whole new group for Washington now. Baseball operations, Rizzo gone, the coaching staff with Davey Martinez and Hickey and all those guys are all gone, and it's an entirely new group running the Washington Nationals.
Kelly takes a strike, 1-0 Nationals, second inning. Blake Butera is the new manager for Washington. He is the youngest manager in the big leagues in a long time. A drive to right center, pretty well hit, back toward the warning track, and making the catch is Weimer after a long run. And that ball was really tattooed by Carson Kelly, but the wind kept it in the yard, and that's the second out in the inning.
That ball really well struck. There's been 3 balls now hit right on the button. One left the yard and left. One was caught on the track in center. That one caught on the track in right center. You brought up a point, though, Pat, right before we went on the air. The ball going from the 368 mark in right center field towards the right field foul pole is going to get, if you slice it or hook it, it's going to get a little extra push to that corner, and it could help the ball get to the seats.
Well, here's the left-handed batter who could reach those seats. This is Moises Ballesteros, and he's the opening day designated hitter for the Cubs. So these are very big plate appearances for him as he is trying to win a full-time job.
Yeah, he's had a really good spring. This guy can flat out hit.
Here comes the 1-1. It's taken high for a ball, 2-1.
For years now, you watch baseball and you look at certain guys swing and you go, wow, he's got a pretty swing. That's Ballesteros. He's one of those left-handed hitters that you just go, wow, that is about as good a swing as you can have.
Here's the 2-1. Strike 2 called. I remember, Ron, when we first saw him, you've liked him from day one.
Yeah, you don't have to be a hitting guy to look at that swing and watch the ball jump off his bat and know he can hit. But watching him this spring, he got a late start to spring. He had some visa issues coming into camp. And I got to see him his very first day of batting practice. It's like he didn't miss a thing.
Down low for a ball, 3-2. He's also got a good batting eye. He will take a walk. We noticed that in his limited playing time a year ago. Let's see if Ballesteros can reach.
There's a lot going on when Ohtani pitches and hits. So there goes Ohtani. Shohei lighting up the highlights already. It's a leadoff home run after he struck out 3 at the top of the first. And the Dodgers lead it 1-0. He hit 55 in the regular season, a Dodger record. And he's gone deep for the 3rd time this postseason, his first of the championship series.
I went to college at Northeastern University, and all my friends were Red Sox fans. And while in my 3 years there, I really grew to appreciate Red Sox Nation and everything that they bring to the table. And once I got my head wrapped around the trade, I was really, really excited. I think they have one of the most iconic logos, these 2 socks right here on the sleeve. I love keeping it simple, really fond of the font, and I think it's a really cool look.
So this is MLB Network Talent Stars.
Okay.
The stars of MLB Network. Can I trade a pack of these for a signed Lauren Shahadi card?
How about we do a little bit of both? Money, a little trade.
Will you open it up and see if you like it?
They're really nice.
If I sign it, does that equal the Lauren Shahadi 20?
All right.
Do we have a good trade?
We have a good trade. Thank you so much. That was fun.
Nice doing business with you.
Or Chicago Cubs. And you can bet your sweet Cubbies we fly to their away games. Hint, hint.
Top three, Washington 1, Cubs nothing. It's 50 degrees, cloudy here at Wrigley Field with the wind whipping in from left to 22 miles per hour. Time and temperature sponsored by Circa Sports. Sports betting the way it should be with no bet fees. Pat?
Keibert Ruiz will lead off for Washington here in the third. Right-handed batting catcher takes ball one from Matthew Boyd. The leg kick and the 1-0 is a little high, ball two. The difference so far, a second inning solo home run by Joey Wiemer to left for Washington. Boyd working quickly and misfires again, ball three. 3-0. Well, the season got underway last night, the official season opener for the big leagues. The Yankees beat the Giants in Northern California 7-0 in back of Max Fried. And I was looking at Fried. He must have been in midseason form, Ron. 6 1/3 shutout innings of 2-hit ball. And he was the visiting pitcher in that game. Every hitter, every pitcher wants to get off to a good start.
Yeah, you really do. Yeah, absolutely.
There's a swing and a smash down the left field line, curling. That's going to be a foul ball. Foul ball down the left field line.
Fried, one of those guys, as you were talking, when he gets on a roll making his pitches, he's tough because he got good velocity, got a little deception as we've seen through the years. You know, and 6 2/3, right? A shutout baseball, that'll work all season long.
I think I saw he made 86 pitches, but anytime you go on the road and shut down the opposition and give your team a win in the season opening game, that's a big day for you. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Boyd changed up either some kind of a change-up or some kind of a slow curveball, and he gets the strikeout here to start the third inning.
Yeah, it looked like he took a little off the hook on that pitch and had Ruiz way out in front. Excellent pitch by Boyd to get the punch out. Third inning is brought to you by Consumers Credit Union, the people in your corner who stand up for you wherever you go.
Strikeout number 5 for Matthew Boyd. Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. One nothing Nationals in the third. One away, nobody on. The pitch to Jacob Young is in there for a call strike. 1-1. Nice to have Bosch Power Tools back with us. You were just talking earlier, Ron, about feeling like a Bosch.
Yeah. And
I was just about to say the same thing myself.
And right as the ball game is about to start, we were about to Bosch and be Bosching.
I always let you lead in the Bosch category.
Okay.
And kind of follow your lead.
You sure you want to do that?
That's my plan going forward. Here's the 1-2 pitch, a swing and a miss, strike 3. How about Matthew Boyd, Ron? He's faced 9 hitters and struck out 6 of them.
Yeah, he's been pretty good. So far, so good. He's been pumping in heaters. As you said to Ruiz, he took a little off that breaking ball to get the punch out of Ruiz, but 6 punch outs now for Boyd.
He must be feeling like a Bosch. Brought to you by Bosch Power Tools. Feel like a Bosch.
How about our Bosch prediction? Boyd's going to have big strikeout numbers today.
Especially early in the game?
Hey, early in the game.
Yeah, we're going way out on that limb. Here's a swing and a miss, and the count 0-2. He has struck out 4 in a row. He's ahead of a left-handed batter 0-2. He's trying to strike out the side. James Wood waits. Here's the pitch. Low and outside for a ball.
Matthew tried a little sidearm slider there, see if he could drop down against Wood. Just pulled it just a little bit, and it won't widen down.
Here comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Matthew Boyd has struck out 7.
How does one of baseball's most celebrated plays connect to one of baseball's most notorious curses? Through a cross-country move, an earthquake, and the Men of Steel? Find out on Hall of Fame Connections.
It was a defensive play so iconic that we simply call it the catch.
This is the glove Willie Mays had when he made that catch. This is great.
But let me touch it for a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oakland pitcher Dave Stewart was named the World Series MVP.
It really comes from like the kings of Siam would give their courtiers white elephants, which were sacred animals, and they'd be too expensive again to maintain, would put them into financial ruin.
They need to know this story. That's amazing.
Nobody could steal a base like Ricky.
I'm the greatest of all time. Thank you.
So imagine making steals in these, though.
So these are Thai Cubs.
And these are Thai Cubs.
So what I want to know is, were they ever swabbed for the DNA of opposing pitchers?
Roberts is no stranger to stolen bases himself.
That's what makes it special, is that everybody knew he was going to steal.
Roberts is going. Safe.
You know what they say? One great play deserves another.
Catch every episode of Hall of Fame Connections on MLB.tv and discover your own connections to the game at baseballhall.org.
Dansby Swanson's on deck for the Cubs. Who's on Deck is sponsored by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit TimberTech.com. Huh?
Dansby Swanson will lead off the Cubs third. Matt Shaw to follow, and then Michael Busch. Cade Cavalli gave up a leadoff double to Michael Busch in the first inning and has not allowed a runner since. The only run of the game, a home run by Joey Wiemer of Washington in the second. Dansby will take a strike.
Two guys have been very aggressive with their fastball, throwing a lot of heaters in the zone. Wind howling in from center and left center. Very tough day to hit.
Inside for a ball, 1-1. We would also like to welcome those of you listening in on the Score on both AM and FM for the first time. AM 670 and FM 104.3. Here's the 1-1. Fastball strike outside corner.
Got a lot of messages already during the game about us being on FM 104.3 and how good it sounds, so that is great. Appreciate everybody listening and turning into the FM dial for us.
That just happened about a month ago. Here comes the 1-2 pitch on the way. It's outside to Swanson. Let's see if Dansby can crank up a rally. Shaw on deck, and then Michael Busch. Well, the field is in great shape. The infield grass, outfield grass, very well manicured. Outside ball 3. 3-2.
It's unbelievable when you start thinking about the weather that we get in Chicago, and then you show up for opening day. We're still in March, and there's not a blemish on the field anywhere. I mean, it is perfectly manicured.
And see if Dansby can get on the pitch. Outside, he walks him. Pretty good plate appearance by Swanson. He was patient, and it pays off in a base on balls. Before Matt Shaw steps in, we pause 10 seconds for station ID. This is The Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network. Shaw batting ninth, right-handed batter, the pitch, and he'll take a strike.
We're coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth. Proud partner of the Chicago Cubs. Great to have Invesco QQQ back once again.
The 0-1, it's a wild throw, and Dansby Swanson will go to second base. The pickoff throw from the pitcher, Cavalli, was low in the dirt. Chaparro, the first baseman, tried to knock it down but couldn't do it. And that ball skipped on by him, and Dansby strolls into second. That's a throwing error by the pitcher, Cavalli, on the pickoff play. And I've got to believe, Ron, that a pitcher, of all people on the diamond, when he makes a bad throw, it's got to affect him mentally.
Yeah, I would agree. And the whole infield now has come to the mound because of it. And in Zach's pregame show, we were talking about keys to the game today. And when you're playing in a game with the wind blowing in the way it is, in very good pitching conditions, you can't make mistakes on defense. That's the first mistake so far on defense. Error E1.
So now it's up to Shaw to try to get the runner over to third at the very least. Ideally, he'd like to drive him in, of course. He's going to bunt, and he takes the pitch down low. And the count, 1-1 strike. Swanson at second, nobody out. This crowd ready to make some noise. No empty seats to be seen at Wrigley. The lead at second by Swanson. Cavalli is set, glancing back at the runner, and brings it. There's a tap foul at the plate, and the count 1-2. What's the plan for the hitter now with a 1-2 count?
Don't hit it off your foot.
Or if you do, make it the other foot this time.
Yeah. It's what did you like? The wind chill right about now is in the 40s, and Matty smokes this ball off his instep of his left foot. And when it's hot, that doesn't feel good. When it's really cold, boy, it's even better.
Right-hander to right-hander, the pitch by Cavalli, way outside for a ball. And it's 2-2. Cavalli battling some control issues. Remember, he got ahead of Swanson before walking Dansby. And he missed badly on that last pitch to Shaw. I would look fastball here. Here comes the 2-2 instead of bluff back. And I say that, Ron, because he's having trouble commanding the curveball right now.
No, I would agree. I think on a day like today, if you have any question at all, go with your best pitch in the fastball and make the hitter beat you hitting the ball into this wind.
Here comes the 2-2. Swinging a foul. Right side, Shaw taking a poke at right field, which is a good plan right now, trying to advance that runner. House now backs up several steps at third. 2 strikes, 1-0 Washington. Bottom of the third, nobody out and a man at second. Ball 3 low and away. I like the plate appearances of both Swanson and Shaw at the bottom of the order in this inning.
Yeah, getting on base for Dansby, working the walk, and now Shaw really is spoiling a couple pitches, especially that fastball away.
And the 3-2, pop fly, shallow right. Tagging is Swanson, the ball over toward the line. Dansby's going to tag and move up to third after the catch. Good base running. So Shaw able to advance the runner with a fly ball to right. And that ball is going to carry to right field, by the way. We saw evidence on that play, Ron.
I think the wind is big factor on the ball hit the right, as we were talking about, and you mentioned that. But as that ball goes out, that's a routine fly ball to straight right. The wind catches it and blows it a good 20 feet towards the foul line and towards the corner. And that's what allowed Dansby to tag from second and go to third.
Michael Busch batting with the infield in. First pitch is a strike, 0-1. Busch had a double down the left field line his first time. Walks to Cubs batters, by the way, sponsored by It'sNotAGameIllinois.com. Remember, a walk is free, a DUI is not. Drive sober or get pulled over. From the stretch, Cavalli delivers. Here's a swing and a pop-up foul, left side out of play. So now it's 0-2. Ron, you got to put it in play.
Yeah,
here.
Absolutely. You're going to choke up a little bit or shorten up on the bat. Just try to get real good control of the barrel. Yeah, as I just saw in our shot in our monitor here, Michael just shortening up just a little bit. Can change your grip with the top hand, too, just to get a little control of the barrel.
you really want to put this ball in play.
Here comes the 0-2. Fly ball left center field, should be deep enough. Coming in, and that's a base hit. Falling in front of a diving Wood. Scoring on the play is Dansby Swanson. Ball game tied. It's a base hit for Bush. I think the ball was misjudged by Wood in left because of that wind. Ron, he didn't charge in until it was too late, and it fell in front of him.
Well, the one thing you know about Wrigley Field, when the wind is howling in the way it is, you cannot drift on a fly ball. You got to be on the attack. That ball not hit real well. It's off the handle. And Wood kind of goes to his left, and then he's kind of jogging, and all of a sudden the wind grabs it, and he has to sprint in. He lays out. He didn't get close to that ball.
Alex Bregman, the batter. The ball game is tied at 1. We talked earlier about Michael Bush driving in 90 runs, hitting mainly as a leadoff hitter a year ago. That's his first RBI of this season. He's being held by Chaparro at first. Bregman robbed on a dazzling defensive play by the third baseman House in the first inning. You know Alex would like to do some good things in his first game in a Cub uniform here today.
He got pitched inside hard in his last at bat.
Check swing, he'll take a strike, 2-1.
That's another fastball up and in, hit the top of the zone.
Dansby with light blue, would you call those powder blue shoes?
Yeah. Same thing with the batting gloves and the shin guard.
Bregman will take ball 3, 3-1. He's always had that reputation of working his at-bats, making the other pitcher make more pitches than he wants to make. And let's see if he can take advantage now of this 3-1 delivery. It's on the way. Inside, ball 4. Bregman gets the walk. It didn't miss by much. I thought Washington might challenge that call, but they did not. And the batter is Ian Happ with 2 men on in a tie game here in the third, 1-1.
Well, that's that cut fastball Cavalli throws, and it starts out in off the plate, and it's probably caught close to the inside corner, but that cutting action almost, kind of moves somewhat similar to a slider, stays in. Very good take by Bregman, and now the Cubs with 2 men on and only 1 out.
Simon Matthews, the pitching coach, wearing a red jacket with blue sleeves, is out talking with Cade Cavalli. Swanson walked. He went to second on a wild pickoff throw at first. He moved up to third on a fly ball by Shaw and scored on a bloop single by Bush. Bregman now has walked. Tie game. 52 pitches already from Cavalli after 2 1/3 innings. 52. Here is Ian Happ. And the pitch. Ian pulls the ground ball foul first base side.
I thought in this at bat, after Ian punched out on 3 pitches in the last AB, he was going to be aggressive here early. If he gets a good fastball hit, he was going to be on the attack, and he was.
Cloudy and cool at Wrigley. And the 0-1. Happ swings and misses. And the count 0-2. That ball dove down at the last second. Might have been a good changeup.
91-mile-an-hour changeup. That's a power changeup after the 97-mile-an-hour heater.
And now the 0-2. Happ swings and misses. Strike 3. Happ strikes out for the second time. And it's going to be up to Pete Crow Armstrong.
Now, Ian in that last at bat saw the whole repertoire, saw the good fastball. Second pitch was a really good change in good location, and then the slider.
Pete agreed to that long-term, very lucrative contract extension earlier this week. He hits a ground ball into right field, a base hit. Rounding third and heading home is Michael Bush. He will score. The throw to third, and out there is going to be Alex Bregman. But it's an RBI single for Pete Crow Armstrong as Bush.
I feel like food and sharing a meal with someone is a universal language. You can't go to a ballpark and not have a nice hot dog. So if I'm at the ballpark, I'm gonna get a nice heavy glizzy. You gotta have chili on there, you gotta have cheese. If your hot dog isn't bending in the middle because it's like about to fall apart, then you're not doing it right. So you gotta have a glizzy and then something cold, whatever it is, beer, lemonade. You gotta have something cold to wash that hot dog down with.
And there's a shot into left field. Stanton on his way around to score, and the Yankees are on the board. First, it's 1-0 New York. Bouncer headed up the middle, and that's going to get through and drive in a couple of runs. Cranked up and sent into the right center field gap. McMahon's going to score easily. They're going to wave Wells around. Plays to third. 5-0 New York. Another one headed for no man's land, but Harrison Bader read it well. Former Gold Glover comes up to make a very nice catch for the guy they call Big G, who has driven in a run with the third straight hit to open the fifth inning. Chopper for Jazz, hot shot, and he makes the catch. That got on there on a line, and he's telling Jose Caballero, did you see that? I could watch Jazz Chisholm play. I mean, he plays with such joy. Only David Cohn, Ron Guidry, and Mel Stottlemyre had opening day starts of 6+ innings with 2 or fewer hits and no runs allowed.
The out-of-town scoreboard is sponsored by Club Citgo. Download the Club Citgo app. Save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up.
Did you call me Philip?
It's game. That sometimes happens.
1 ball and no strikes as we go to the 4th inning. Andres Chaparro is the leadoff batter. Brady House to follow, and then Dalen Lyle against Matthew Boyd. Boyd with the lead for the first time. Here's a fly ball to right. Long run. Tough play for Shaw. It's over his head, up against the wall. And Chaparro around second, holding with a double. A hard hit ball, but the wind definitely giving the ball a carry in that direction right now.
Yeah, this ball's hit really hard. Chaparro's the guy, Pat, if you recall, in the first inning, that hit the ball to straightaway center field that the wind held in the ballpark. Now he hits a line drive bullet, one hopper, off the well part of the wall and right over Shaw's head. Shaw, no chance of catching this ball as this ball's hit on the line. So, 2 good at bats for Chaparro.
Pete Crow Armstrong gets credit for an RBI single on the last play of that 3rd inning. Cubs lead 2-1. But a man at second now, the tying run for Washington in the 4th as Brady House swings and misses.
As you bring up Pete Crow Armstrong, I wanted to congratulate him too. You know, you play our game for a long time. You're a kid. You just want to get to the big leagues, and then that business side always creeps in, and and it's a big part of our game. But congrats to Pete with that long-term deal. He's going to be a Cub for a long time. It's really good.
Personally, I was delighted. I love watching him play baseball.
Absolutely. Great young guy. Loves to play. Plays hard. He cares. It's a great contract for Pete, and it's a great contract for the Cubs.
This pitch is outside the house, 2-1. When you look at his numbers a year ago, what a combination. He had 31 home runs, drove in 95, and sometimes he was hitting leadoff, by the way. And then he had 35 stolen bases as well, and Gold Glove defense in center. Now that's an all-around talent.
Yep, absolutely. He is the ultimate 5-tool guy in our league. There's no doubt about that. And yeah, it's a really good thing for him. Signed a long-term deal, and now the only thing you worry about now is playing the game.
Here's the 2-2 to House. Base hit up the middle. Chaparro had to hold, thinking the ball might be caught, and can only advance to third as the throw comes in from PCA. So back-to-back hard hit balls against Boyd to begin the fourth inning. Runners at first and third, nobody out, and the Cubs 2-1 lead is in jeopardy.
Once this ball passes Matthew Boyd on the line, I'm surprised Chaparro didn't take off. There's going to be nobody there. You know, there's no shift any longer in baseball. But he's only able to advance 90 feet.
Infield stays back. Lyle, a left-handed batter, waiting. And he swings away and fouls it away, 0-1.
Now for Bregman, he has moved in, even with the bag. Not in, but even with the bag at third. If the ground ball off the left-handed hitting Lyle brings him towards the plate, he can throw home. If it carries him to his left, he'll try to turn two.
And the 0-1 from Boyd. A line drive into right field, a base hit. This will tie the game. Over to cut it off is Shaw. It's a long single for Dalen Lyle as Brady House goes to third. Chaparro scores. Game tied at 2. Still nobody out here in the top of the fourth inning.
Now Matthew with a little breaking ball. There's a little drop-down slider, and he doesn't get it outside enough. This ball catches the outer third of the plate, and Lyle stays on this ball pretty well and hooks this ball down towards the corner. Drive in the second run.
Tommy Hotovy, the pitching coach, out to see about Matthew Boyd. The Pete Armstrong single gave the Cubs that brief lead. Now it's a 2-2 game. Still nobody out in the inning. First and third for Washington. But PCA batting cleanup today. Cleanup hitters for the Cubs, sponsored by Chicagoland's appliance leader, Grand Appliance. Get your all-star Frigidaire kitchen today at grandappliance.com. Nice to have Grand Appliance back. They were a sponsor many years ago, and delighted to have them back on board. Cubs keep the infield back as Joey Wiemer steps in. Boy, that flag is really blowing toward right field right now. This is as hard as the wind has blown all day long.
My papers can attest.
I wonder what a routine fly ball to right would look like right now, or if there would even be such a thing as routine in these conditions. That wind is whipping.
I'm having a hard enough time for a routine broadcast. Much like
Boyd has struck out 7 today. He could certainly use a couple of those right now. The pitch inside, and it's 3-0 to Joey Wiemer. No activity in the Cub bullpen yet, but there might be very soon.
Boyd got 52 pitches in the game.
Let's see if Wiemer has the green light. Pickoff throw to first, not in time. Boyd has a great move, by the way.
Yeah, this certainly would be a good time to pick someone off at first. Lyle, not much of a lead at first base.
And now the pitch, swing and a miss. Wiemer was trying to launch that one.
That's about as hard as you can swing and stay on 2 feet. That is some power stroke that young man just took.
And the 3-1, swing and a miss. It's 3-2, another hard swing, but he came up empty. And now let's see if Boyd can strike him out.
That fastball inside, right on the inside corner, about maybe just below the belt. I'd love to see Matthews stay in there again one more time. Maybe elevate that fastball just a little bit above the belt.
And the 3-2 on the way. A swing and a pop-up foul coming back out of play. Washington took a 1-0 lead on a second-inning home run by Joey Weimer, the guy at the plate. Cubs got 2 in their half of the third. Run-scoring hits by Bush and Pete Crow-Armstrong. And now Lyle with an RBI single has tied the game in the Washington fourth. Here is ball 4 to Weimer. That's always frustrating for a pitcher. You were behind, then you came back to get the count full, and then you end up walking him. So now the bags are loaded, and we've reached, I would say, a potential turning point in this game right now.
Cubs now getting Ben Brown warming up in the Cubs bullpen, and he'll get warmed up quickly.
Abrams drives one in the air, deep right field, in the corner. That ball will go fair and up against the wall. 2 runs are in. The throw to second is in time there. 2-run score on the double by C.J. Abrams. Out the call at second. Let's see if the Nationals are going to challenge that call. Washington has taken a 4-2 lead, and they're going to challenge the call down at second base. Holding at third on the play, Weimer. Abrams has driven in 2, and now the question is, was he safe or out at second base?
Abrams went in with a head-first slide into second base. The throw came in from the cutoff man from Horner and went right to second. And instantly Abrams says, challenge. I'm really surprised, though, that Weimer didn't keep going and try to score.
Same.
They were giving him home plate, and he shut down past the third base coach. Why, I'm not quite sure, but we'll see. I have not seen a close-up of this. It all depends. Does Abrams stay on the bag or not? But I think he beats the throw.
We're watching it now from a couple of different angles. Dansby Swanson's tag. And I think this is going to be overturned. I really do. I think he's safe at second base.
I think so, too. See, in the shot we have on the big scoreboard, Weimer's is way around third base. He's a good 25 feet past the bag and then stops. And he starts looking at the play at second. The Cubs were giving him home plate.
Both House and Lyle scored on the play. Weimer advanced to third. And now the question is, does Abrams get a double, or is he going to be called out trying to stretch a single into a double? It's a 4-2 advantage for Washington. And the first 5 batters in the inning have all reached against Matthew Boyd.
But today is a day where you really don't want these, the look in New York. You want to get this going because cold and windy as it is.
After review, the call on the field stands. The runner is out.
The call stands. So Abrams is out at second base. I guess he gets a 2-run single then. That's the way you'd have to score that. A 2-run single for him. 1 away. That's a break for the Cubs.
Yeah.
And a good challenge utilized by the Cubs. Infield in, a runner at third, 1 down, 4-2 Nationals lead, and the batter Nasim Nunez.
9-4-5 in the putout at second base.
And the pitch to Nunez, bounced toward third, slowly hit, foul ball. Foul ball. Cubs get another break. Bregman charging and tried to short hop the ball, bobbled it, but it was foul when he touched it.
Now, Abrams hits this ball down the line and didn't run. And then has to turn on the burners. He must have come disengaged with the bag at second base while Dansby had the tag on him.
It's almost bad karma when you don't run on a ball like that.
Absolutely.
Now the left-hander working on Nunez. A runner at third, 1 away. Here's a ground ball toward the middle. Fielded by Swanson. Has to go to first as a run scores. And the throw to first is in time, but Weimer scores on the play, and now it's 5-2 Washington. So give Nunez the RBI, and a very good play by Swanson as he made a sliding stop moving up the middle and then spun around and made the play to first. No play at home.
Now for Nunez, too, good at bat because you get it done right away. And a day like today where, it's just a tough day to hit, he had a good at bat. Nice play by Dansby.
Keibert Ruiz the batter, 2 down. So a very eventful 4-run inning for the Nationals here in the 4th. And they lead 5-2. 1 ball and 1 strike on Keibert Ruiz. This will probably be the final inning of the day for Boyd, as the next pitch is fouled. 1-2. Still plenty of baseball left. We're only in the 4th inning. And the pitch on the way, hit on the ground, fair inside first, down the right field line, a base hit. Stopping at first is Ruiz. Shaw hustles it down and gets it back in.
Boy, and this is another base hit, and this is one of those inside-out swings by Ruiz, and this ball, Jim Wolf says first base umpire, that it stays inside the bag. It had to go right over the corner of the bag and down towards the sidewalk.
Craig Counsell's going to make a pitching change. So we'll be back in a moment. Washington rallying. They've scored 4 in the inning.
Jim Thorpe's resume reads like a work of pure fiction.
So he's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He's in the College Football Hall of Fame. He got Olympic medals for the decathlon and the pentathlon.
He's the greatest at
I thought I was an athlete, Lindsay.
Thorpe finished his Major League Baseball career with the Boston Braves in 1919, where he played alongside an outfielder named Les Mann.
He invented this particular projector.
And this is not all he's done, right?
He started championing to get baseball into the Olympics. He finally succeeded for the 1936 Olympics, which was held in Berlin.
The German government had discouraged other nations from sending Jewish and black athletes.
We sent over Jesse Owens, and we sent over Mac Robinson, Jackie Robinson's older brother.
Trailblazers like Thorpe and Robinson certainly lit the way for countless others to follow. Go to baseballhall.org to plan your visit to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York, and catch every episode of Hall of Fame Connections on MLB.tv.
High fly ball, right field deep. Canseco back to the track, looking up. It is off his head, it looked like. And over the top. A home run.
Hit Canseco in the head. Look at this. Boink. And it's out of here.
Thing to gain. 800-323-8922.
We're going to play the attendance game, the Benny's Beverage Depot attendance game. If you can't find it at Benny's, it's probably not worth drinking. Ben Brown has come in from the Cubs bullpen, tall, long-legged, hard-throwing right-hander. He inherits a runner at first, 2 down. Top of inning number 4. Washington on top, 5-2. Jacob Young, first batter to face Ben Brown, and first pitch down low for ball 1. You know it's going to be somewhere in the 40,000 neighborhood. I'll just go ahead and start the guesses in the Benny's attendance game by saying 40,004.
Okay.
Young struck out his first time. He takes a ball outside, 2-0.
I will say 40,200.
And now the 2-0 pitch. That's going to be a strike.
I'm going to go 40,500.
Paul Zerang, our great engineer, is going to chime in as well. And the 2-1 from the right-hander Brown is low and outside, 3-1.
And Paul's going to go with 40,222.
So we're all in that same 40,000 neighborhood. The crowd has quieted down with this Washington rally that they have staged. Here's a deep drive to right. Tough play. That ball is back and gone for a home run. Jacob Young with an opposite field home run. We've talked about the wind, and that's the best example today of the wind and the effect it is having. I knew he hit it well, Ron, but that surprised me that it left the yard. How about you?
Yeah, same. He gets on top of this high fastball up and away and just puts the barrel on it, and Addy Shaw starts going back, and this ball just screams over his head. It hits the video board, the low video board, and then into the basket for a home run.
So a 6-run inning for Washington, and it's not over yet. And they lead 7-2 here in the 4th inning. One of the runs charged to Matthew Boyd. Talked about his almost perfect record at Wrigley a year ago. 12-1. Boyd was 12-1 in his 15 starts in his home park at Wrigley last season. But I don't remember him ever having an inning this bumpy a year ago.
No, I would agree. And Washington here in the middle of the ball game, they've come out swinging and really trying to be aggressive. And they've gotten some balls to fall in, and they've also hit some balls hard.
Bouncing ball left side, charging and gloving is Bregman, running throw to first, and it is just in time.
Some overnight oats right before the game. My teammates look at me like, what are you doing, dude?
My mom's cooking, probably. She makes some good. She's got a tuna fish casserole. That's pretty good.
I went 5 for 5. I need to eat the same thing. Last time, Saturday, I ate arepa with eggs, and then next day, I got to eat arepas with eggs. So my mom make it for me, and then when my mom is with me,
everything's good.
I save a lot of money.
Estamos lindo.
So the reason I got to Cooperstown is because I played with Cal, and I played with Eddie, and I played with some of the greatest players ever. And I just had to figure out how I did my job, and I was honored to have some of the best players that ever played put on uniforms, and they happen to be Oriole uniforms. If there's ever any doubt that I'm 78, all I got to do is look at my old cards, and I know.
Hey, it's a Lourdes Gurriel dog.
That's a nice touch. Pena power.
The perils of wearing earrings when you've got netting on the field.
That young fan, not a Newtbar fan. What a present for Mom.
Oh my goodness, look at this guy.
Uso, yeah, Jay Uso, yeah.
And then just shot putting it. Block when there's nobody on base. There's a little debate for Domo and Kim watching the replay together.
That's beautiful,
isn't it?
Few other games in progress, and we started to tell you about the out-of-town scoreboard, sponsored by Club Citgo. Download the Club Citgo app, save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. Paul Skeens didn't make it out of the first inning for the Pirates as the Mets are leading the Pirates 9-4 in New York. That game is in the top of the 6th inning. William Contreras with a 3-run double for the Brewers. Milwaukee a 4-1 lead over the White Sox in the last of the 4th. Twins and Orioles are scoreless, top of the 2nd in Baltimore. Pat?
There's a bunt attempt by Nico Horner, foul, as he starts off the Cubs' 4th inning. So Paul Skeens failed to go 1 inning for the Pirates at New York. How about that, Zach?
Yeah, 5 runs allowed in 2/3 of an inning.
Just reading about Skeens. And of all the starting pitchers that have come along in over a century in big league ball, he has the best ERA after, I think, the first 50 starts or something. It's like 1.92. And I mean, that is the best of any pitcher in over a century of big league ball.
Think of that. Well, that's going to change a little bit.
The game is always full of surprises. We just saw one on the top of this inning.
Yeah.
Washington with a 6-run rally, and now they lead 7-2, so the Cubs need base runners. Let's see if Nico Hoerner can get on against Cade Cavalli. And the pitch, ground ball to third. Waiting for the second bounce is House. His low throw is not in time. It skips on by Chaparro. Safe at first is Nico Hoerner. That'll be E5, I believe.
Yeah, that's one of those plays from third. House fields this ball, does a good job of getting the right hop, makes a throw, and, you know, first baseman's got to do a better job of getting the glove on this ball. This is a ball that he stretches one way and then he has to reach across. He did not stretch at the ball, and that's just, you know, it's going to be an error on a third baseman, but that's just not a very good play at first.
Yeah, he's got to at least get leather on that throw.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here is Carson Kelly taking outside for a ball. Well, when you're down by 5, you're looking for something to get you turned around, and maybe that throwing error will start a Cubs rally here. Kelly flied to the warning track in right his first time. There's a huge hole on the right side of the infield. A good 90 feet of space. Inside ball 2, 2-0.
Carson just missed a home run in his last at-bat. Very first at-bat for him of the season. He hit one to the track at the 368 mark.
The flags are stiff, blowing straight to right and right center. Throw to first, jumping back to the bag, Nico Hoerner. Great to see Billy Williams on the field. He and Anthony Rizzo participating in the first pitch tosses prior to the game. Sweet swinging Billy Williams. There's a strike, 2-1.
Billy brought out the ball. Kerry Wood through the pit, or was out there with Riz and Lee Smith and Andre Dawson. So a lot of Blue Jackets out there today, partner.
Here comes the 2-1. That's going to be outside. Ball 3-1.
Now, did you wear the blue jacket today, the Cubs Hall of Fame jacket today? You didn't bring it?
Did not, because we had a pretty important broadcast to do up here. That plus the fact that I wasn't invited.
You were invited to the broadcast. I know that.
Not formally. There is a pitch. It's 3-2 now on Carson Kelly. But no, it really is great to see Billy and Fergie, Kerry, Anthony.
Got a chance to see Fergie quite a bit in spring, and Andre Dawson.
Now the payoff pitch, fouled away. We'll do it again.
Big hole on that right side of the diamond. Second baseman Nunez playing, just a couple steps to the right of the second base bag.
3-2 to Kelly. It's taken high, ball 4. 2 men on, nobody out. We'll keep an eye on the bullpen activity regarding the Nationals at this point as Moises Ballesteros comes up. Okay, he's a young player, Ron. He's aggressive. But your team is down by 5. What's his approach in this plate appearance?
I think we're just in the middle of the game. This is a perfect scenario for him to look for a fastball and use that wind and hook one.
He bunts it toward third, foul. And almost looked like he was scoring as a sacrifice bunt. Now, that surprised me.
That surprised me, too. I thought, when you're down like this, you'd be swinging. Cubs down by 5.
Could he have maybe misread a signal from a coach? Here comes the 0-1 pitch, low and inside, 1-1. When you're down by 5 in the 4th inning, that just would not make sense to be laying down a bunt.
No, what I think it is he knows the Cubs need base runners, so I think, as a young guy, he's thinking, well, I just need to get on base too. But really what the offense is trying to do is get him up with runners in scoring position where he can do some damage.
He swings and taps it foul, 1-2. Yeah, Moises is not going to stay in the big leagues because of his bunting. He's a hitter, he's a swinger, he's an extra base knock ball player. Cubs trail 7-2, bottom of inning number 4. And the pitch taken down low for a ball. It didn't miss by much. 2-2 on Moises.
Yeah, that's a changeup and just misses down. Great eye by Ballesteros. That one didn't miss by much.
Now the stretch by Cavalli and a bluff move towards second. Some of the fans in the lower deck have moved back to a warmer part of Wrigley Field. A light rain was falling a few moments ago. I think that has stopped. But it's a chilly day. And here's a swing and a smash, fouled off to the left, out of play. Washington 7, Cubs 2. Bottom of inning number 4. The lights have been turned on at Wrigley. They've been on all day. Cloudy and windy. A 2-2. Low and inside, 3-2. I'm talking about Cubs of yesteryear. It was on this date, March 26, 1984. Here's a trade that many Cub fans will remember. A trade with the Phillies. The Cubs acquiring Gary Matthews and Bobby Dernier, along with pitcher Porfi Altamirano, in exchange for Bill Campbell and Mike Diaz.
How about that?
Here's the pitch on the way. Swinging a bouncer back toward the mound. The throw goes to first in time. Runners advance to second and third, but that's out number 1. Well, let's see if the Cubs can take a bite out of that 5-run deficit. With one away, the batter Dansby Swanson.
Oh, big curveball. It's one of those things. You take the risk of throwing that hook and not making it a strike, but it was a strike at the top of the zone. I think that one fooled Ballesteros. He just hit that little one hopper back to the mound.
Swanson had a base on balls and scored a run his first time. He takes a pitch in the dirt, blocked by Ruiz. Second and third, Cubs trail by 5. Bottom of the 4th inning. No game tomorrow. It's a scheduled day off. The series will resume on Saturday and Sunday. Each game starting at 1:20. Go to Cubs.com for ticket info. Again, the infield back. Swanson hits a ground ball to second base. A run will score, but the out is made at first. Nunez fielding the grounder and tossing over to first. RBI for Swanson. Horner scores. That's an unearned run. Nico reached on the error. Kelly advances to third. It's now a 7-3 ball game. Cubs trail by 4. And let's see if that's going to be all for the starter, Cade Cavalli.
Yeah.
It is. So Cavalli on a pitch count. He's had the Tommy John surgery. I'm sure on a day like today they didn't want him to overdo it. But a pitching change.
We have a couple things out here for the first acknowledged unassisted triple play. And Cy Young said, "Neil, where are you going?" He said, 3 outs.
Neil Ball had a fairly short career as a big leaguer, but continued playing in the minors where he encountered true baseball royalty.
Now we're going to connect to Babe Ruth.
He dominated the game like no one else had before.
I'm holding Babe Ruth's bat.
During a 1934 baseball barnstorming tour of Japan, Ruth faced 17-year-old pitcher Eiji Sawamura. Sawamura became a hero in Japan, and the Nippon Professional Baseball League's version of the Cy Young Award bears his name. Maeda won the award in 2010 and again in 2015, when the runner-up was Shohei Ohtani.
First pitch crushing. Oh, man.
Like the 3 outs of a triple play. It all connects. Go to baseballhall.org to plan your visit to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York, and catch every episode of Hall of Fame Connections on MLB.tv.
It's a 5-man umpiring crew here today, and this young superstar is in the stands.
And did their feet get tangled up? Yes, so Hoppy tripped, or he might have caught that ball. Down.
There's a fastball, and there's a flying bat. It's a pie car.
And that ball is off the ladder. It's actually off the ladder. You never see that.
Haggerty is on with an infield hit. A little tumble behind the mound. Hat fell off. That was awesome. I mean, you just don't see that.
Now we send it back downstairs to Pat and Ron.
All right, Zach, 2 down, a runner at third. Cubs trailing 7-3. Kelly, the runner at third. And the new left-hander, Poulin. We assume he has a first name. As Shaw bats, the pitch from Poulin is in there for a strike, 0-1.
So, you don't think he's like Manana?
He could be. Here's a swing and a high pop-up foul. Coming back is the catcher, Ruiz. And that ball is out of play, and it's 0-2.
His first name is PJ.
See, would you just let it go for a second?
See, those are just initials. To me, that's not a full name, so I'm sticking with Poulin.
Yeah, yeah.
2 outs and a runner at third. Let's see if the Cubs can scratch out one more run out of this opportunity. And the pitch to Matt Shaw is taken down low for a ball.
Good take by Matty on that changeup. That changeup kind of ran down and away from him. That's the pitch. Starts out in the zone, and you start to commit to swinging. Excellent take.
Now the set, the slender left-hander Poulin is ready to work. 1-2. It's on the way to Shaw. Poked foul off to the right, out of play. Washington stunning the Cubs with a 6-run rally in the top of this 4th inning. Wind still blowing toward right. And the 1-2. Fouled away by Shaw. Getting back to that trade I mentioned, it took place on this date between the Cubs and Phillies, with Sarge, Gary Matthews, and Bobby Dernier being acquired from the Phillies. The thing that surprised me about it, in researching that transaction, here comes the 1-2. And it's swung on and fouled back. Sarge, if you recall, Gary Matthews, the previous autumn with the Phillies was the National League Championship Series MVP in that series against the Dodgers. He hit 3 home runs in a 4-game series. In the best of 5, the Phillies beat L.A. in '83. And then the very next spring, the Phillies trade him to the Cubs. It surprised me when I researched it in that context.
Yeah, that's very odd.
Now the 1-2. It's outside for a ball. Plus the fact Gary is such a likable person and a great teammate and a guy that you like being around.
Yeah.
That's another reason it surprised me.
Well, and you just won the National League Championship Series that year. You think you're going to be back in the playoffs.
Yeah, the 2-2. A little roller toward short, charging as Abrams gloves it, running through to first to get him. and that ends the inning. Zach's going to be...
It was a defensive play so iconic that we simply call it the catch.
This is the glove Willie Mays had when he made that catch. This is great.
Oakland pitcher Dave Stewart was named the World Series MVP.
It really comes from like the kings of Siam would give their courtiers white elephants, which were sacred animals.
They need to know this story. That's amazing.
Nobody could steal a base like Ricky.
I'm the greatest of all time. Thank you.
So imagine making steals in these stuff.
So these are Thai Cubs.
And these are Thai Cubs.
So what I want to know is, were they ever swabbed for the DNA of opposing pitchers?
Roberts is no stranger to stolen bases himself.
That's what makes it special, is that everybody knew he was going to steal.
Roberts is going.
You know what they say? One great play deserves another. Go to baseballhall.org to plan your visit to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York, and catch every episode of Hall of Fame Connections on MLB.tv.
Biggest thing we're bringing is a brand new Tony Gwynn drop I did with his estate. So we just signed a deal at therealist.com to actually go through his entire archives, present them, and auction them off. And to announce it, we did this limited edition 1994 The Lost Season card. Because, you know, between August of 93 and May of 95, Tony Gwynn batted .406 in 162 games. So in the back, we have the stats of what could have been.
(224-661-0068) for details.
Cubs fans, it's Pat Hughes. To ensure that your business goals get across home plate, consider relocating to the Village of Bedford Park. Learn more at villageofbedfordpark.com.
We are coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth, proud partner of the Chicago Cubs. Top of the fifth here at Wrigley Field, opening day 2026. Cubs playing catch-up. It's the Nationals with a 7-3 lead over the Cubs. Andres Chaparro, the first baseman, at the plate for Washington, right-handed batter. The right-hander Ben Brown works his motion, and the first pitch misses up high. A knuckle curve, 1-0 the count. Wind whipping in from left at 22 miles per hour. It's around 50 degrees, but feels much cooler than that as Chaparro looks at a sinking fastball low. 2-0 the count. The big inning for the Nationals, the fourth, a 6-run fourth inning for Washington. As Brown deals, Chaparro hits a fly ball, shallow left center field, racing in Pete Crow Armstrong, and it drops in into no man's land for a base hit. Chaparro's second of the game. So the leadoff man on base for Washington here in the fifth. It'll bring up Brady House, the third baseman. And Matthew Boyd had some difficulty, Coombe, going 3 2/3 today, charged with 6 runs on 6 hits, 1 walk. He did strike out 7.
Yeah, he was throwing the ball exceptionally well, and then, you know, some runners get on and some good situational hitting. Hitting with runners in scoring position as Browning fires a good fastball for a strike. And then, you know, the line drive to right that the wind took and just threw it into the basket. So he went from, you know, having a really good outing and going along real well to, you know, Washington scoring some runs.
House looks at strike 2, a slow-moving knuckle curveball that spun into the zone. Count is 0-2. Chaparro at first, no one out here in the top of the fifth. 7-3 Nationals. Brown deals. And misses with a knuckle curve, low and outside, 1-2.
Congrats to Ben Brown. He is one of those guys that, you know, made the team out of spring training, had an excellent spring.
Added a third pitch during the offseason, a sinking fastball. Here's the 1-2. That missed.
Yeah, he added the 2-seam fastball, sinker. And, you know, you got the 4-seamer, he's got the knuckle curve, and now he's got something to go, you know, to combat both of those and go the other direction.
That was a sinking fastball that missed. So the count 2-2 with House at the plate. Righty-righty matchup. Brown deals. Called. Strike 3. Went with the sinking fastball again and froze House on the inner edge near the top of the zone. 1 away.
Yeah, 2-seamer, and this one runs, you know, instead of the ball cutting, him getting on outside the ball. The two-seamer, you get a little pressure on that index finger, and boy, that ball ran in, hit the inside corner for strike 3 against House.
So Dalen Lyle, the designated hitter at the plate, left-handed batter, fouls the first pitch back, 0-1. The first out, sponsored by Xfinity, reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity, imagine that. 7-3 Nationals, 1 on, 1 out for Washington here in the top of the 5th. Brown a long set. Now the 0-1. Lyle fouls it back off the screen again. 0-2. You know, when we got to the ballpark this morning, Coom, it was a comfortable, sunny day, right?
70-plus degrees today when we got here.
What happened?
You know, it's Chicago is what happened. You know what?
Here's the 0-2. Called, strike 3. Slow-moving knuckle curve that froze Lyle. It clipped the bottom of the zone right down the middle, 2 away.
Yeah, excellent pitch. After some good two-seamers at 97, then the knuckle curve right down the middle. As you said, right at the bottom of the zone. But it went from 73 degrees, and now, you know, that feels like on your phone the temperature or wind chill.
Joey Weimer chops one into shallow right. He's going to be safe at first. And advancing to third on the play is Chaparro. Throw to second, and they nail Weimer at second base, trying to extend the single into a double. Tag applied by Dansby Swanson. That's out number 3.
Well, we certainly served it up over the plate. This is a burger fit for a home run king, the 99 burger in honor of Aaron Judge. They sell a bazillion of these at Yankee Stadium. It looks pretty good. I feel like we passed the test. What about you?
I think so.
And there's a shot into left field. Stanton on his way around to score. The Yankees are on the board. First, it's 1-0 New York. Bouncer headed up the middle, and that's going to get through and driving a couple of runs. Cranked up and sent into the right center field gap. McMahon's going to score easily. They're going to wave Wells around. Plays to third. 5-0 New York. Another one head for no man's land, but Harrison Bader read it well. Former Gold Glover comes up to make a very nice catch for the guy they call Big G, who has driven in a run with the 3rd straight hit to open the 5th inning. Chopper for Jazz, hot shot, and he makes the catch. That got on there on a line, and he's telling Jose Caballero, "You see that?" I could watch Jazz Chisholm play. I mean, he plays with such joy. Only David Cohn, Ron Guidry, and Mel Stottlemyre had opening day starts of 6+ innings with 2 or fewer hits and no runs allowed.
Michael Busch leading off the last of the 5th for the Cubs, and he looks at a sinking fastball that misses off the inside. 1-0 the count. 7-3 Nationals here in the last of the 5th. Busch with a couple of hits, a double and a single, and he's driven in a run. Here comes the 1-0 from P.J. Poulin. Inside again, 2-0 the count. So the play that ended the top of the 5th was a chopped single in a shallow right by Joey Weimer. Chaparro was at first. He tried going to third. Nico Horner fielded the ball in shallow right through to third. The next pitch is low and outside to Busch, 3-0. There was no chance to get Chaparro at third, so Alex Bregman quickly fielded the ball and saw that Weimer was trying to advance to second, fired a strike there. Tag applied by Dansby Swanson for out number 3. Here comes the 3-0. That's up high, ball 4. Busch draws a leadoff walk here in the 5th, so mark that play with Weimer. Single, out, 4, 5, 6, trying to stretch it into a double.
The play is made by Bregman. You know, Nico catching the ball and just getting it back towards third base. But Bregman comes way up and cuts this ball off and then throws to second. It's an excellent play by Bregman and, you know, not a very good base running play by Weimer.
Here is Alex Bregman, and he looks at a strike, a fastball on the outside edge from left-hander P.J. Poulin. 0-1 the count. Now the wind blowing straight in at Wrigley. It's been shifting throughout the game. The next pitch is way outside, 1-1. Bregman grounded out to third in his first at-bat as a Cub in the first, then walked in the third. Bush at first. He's reached base 3 times today. Bregman waits for the 1-1. Poulin looks at first and deals. And a fly ball hit down the right field line, slicing foul out of play. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the score in the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network. Bush at first, Bregman at the plate. Here comes the 1-2 from Poulin to Bregman. Up high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. We said this earlier in the broadcast. Bregman just makes a pitcher work every time he's at the plate.
Yeah, he does a good job. He's just a very good hitter. There's no doubt. We've seen that for years with him in Houston.
The 2-2. Popped up on the infield, right side. Now in shallow right, Nunez, the second baseman. He makes the catch, angling toward the line for out number 1.
Pat said a couple innings ago, there's not many routine fly balls right now here at Wrigley Field. Although the wind blowing straight in, it's not blowing across, as you just mentioned, Z. It's now blowing straight in, and the wind gusts. When it was gusting towards that right field foul pole, that really could, make it difficult on the fielders trying to catch pop-ups.
Ian Happ at the plate, looks at a ball off the outside, 1-0, a changeup that missed. Happ, a switch hitter, now batting from the right side against the lefty Poulin. 1 on, 1 out for the Cubs. Bottom 5, a 7-3 lead for the Nationals. Poulin leans in, gets the sign from Ruiz, straightens up, sets at the belt. Looks at first and delivers the pitch. And that one misses. Low. 2-0.
Mike Poulin's on some good changeups that have just missed. Cubs doing a good job of laying off that changeup down.
Poulin works on the extreme third base side of the rubber. The left-hander sets at the belt. And the 2-0. Line drive. Base hit into center field for Ian Happ. Stopping at second, Michael Bush. So the Cubs with 2 on, 1 away. Here in the 5th with cleanup man Pete Crow Armstrong due up.
Here's where you need a couple big swings by the Cubs. After Bushy getting on with a walk and now Happer with a line drive bullet back through the middle. Cubs need a big swing. So far, Washington has gotten a couple big swings, a couple home runs, and a bases loaded double by Abrams. Now it's time for the Cubs to punch in.
Crow Armstrong digs in, left-handed batter against the lefty Poulin. And the pitch. Breaking ball up high. Check swing by Pete. On appeal, no swing, says Alex McKay, the third base umpire. The count is 1-0. Crow Armstrong is 1 for 2 this afternoon with an RBI single in the third. Hit 30 home runs. Stole 30 bases last year. 30-30, man. Here's the pitch. Check swing at a pitch way outside on appeal. A third base umpire Alex McKay says that Crow Armstrong did offer, so 1-1 the count.
Pete doesn't agree. He thought he checked, but he definitely went. That barrel of his bat definitely out in front of home plate.
2 on, 1 away. The 1-1. Crow Armstrong dribbles it foul off to the left.
It's such a weird thing when you're a hitter and you think the bat travels about half as the barrel travels about half as much as it really does. And if you're Pete right there, you'd bet any amount of money that there's no chance that barrel went in front of home plate.
Right.
but it did. It's just one of those things you just don't see it the same way when you're hitting as you do if you're, down either the line with the umpire.
Wind blowing from left to right at the moment. The pitch. And a pop-up left side of the infield. The third baseman House in foul territory near the Cubs dugout makes the catch on the sidetrack. Crow Armstrong fouls out, 2 away.
Another off-speed pitch. I pulled Poulin, and it's been some pretty good pitches by him.
So it's a 7-3 lead for Washington over the Cubs here with 2 on and 2 out in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Yogi Berra was an 18-time All-Star and 10-time World Series champion.
This is the only perfect game in World Series history. You ask him about it, and he would say, it ain't been done before, and it ain't been done since.
David Wells was perfect on May 17th, 1998. Beanie Baby Day.
It's not the pitcher that's calling the game, it's the catcher calling what pitch to throw.
Home plate is 17 inches wide. And so he said, well, if it's more than an inch, and it was a lot more than an inch, then it's an illegal bat.
Well, he's out. Yes, sir. Is out. Look at this. Keep it down a little, will you, please?
Okay, Yogi.
Casey Stengel and the other touring ball players met the King of England.
Of course, with my English, we had a little trouble understanding each other.
As Yogi said, when you come to a fork in the road, take it. Go to baseballhall.org to plan your visit to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York, and catch every episode of Hall of Fame Connections on MLB.tv.
Riley Green looking to add on and maybe take a lead. Riley Green, fly ball right center field. This one's deep. Watch it fly! Gone! How about it? Riley Green's first of the postseason delivers a 4-3 lead for the Tigers in the 6th.
Wow, just stayed on that breaking ball. Man, did he hammer that thing.
Wrong. I gotta run. Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on the Hyundai Tucson, Tucson Hybrid, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry. Offer ends March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
The 50-50 raffle kicks off with a $150,000 guaranteed jackpot. Fans in Illinois can purchase tickets at Cubs.com/raffle or from a raffle ambassador at Wrigley Field through the 8th inning of each game against the Nationals. Right-hander Brad Lord, the new man on the mound for Washington, with Nico Horner at the plate. Men at first and second, 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The pitch. Nico swings and misses. 0-1 the count. The Nationals with a 7-3 lead. Horner is 0 for 2, but he did reach on an error and ended up scoring a run. Lord last year for Washington went 5-10 in 48 games with a 4.34 ERA, 19 starts. Horner digs in, righty-righty matchup. Lord looks at second. That's where Bush is. Now the pitch. And a ground ball deep short, backhanded by Abrams. Throw to second is in time for the force as they nail Happ to end the frame. We head to the 6th inning here at Wrigley Field.
Big career numbers against the Giants for the guy they call Big G, who has driven in a run with the 3rd straight hit to open the 5th inning. There's a little one, another one head for no man's land, but Harrison Bader read it well. Former Gold Glover comes up to make a very nice catch. So first and second with 3 runs in and still only 1 away. Franked up and sent into the right center field gap. McMahon's going to score easily. They're going to wave Wells around. 5-0 New York. 2 balls and a strike to Matt Chapman. Chopper for Jazz. Hot shot. I could watch Jazz Chisholm play. I mean, he plays with such joy. He is so much fun to watch. Only David Cohn, Ron Guidry, and Mel Stottlemyre had opening day starts of 6+ innings, 2 or fewer hits, and no runs allowed.
I'm going to go check out Food Truck Row. So, what did you guys get today?
Philly cheesesteaks.
Both of you got the same thing. Are they that good?
Oh, yeah.
Got a hot dog and some fries. Just
Everyday moments.
Hey, Cubs fans.
Southwest Airlines here with more reasons why flying Southwest from Chicago just makes sense. We're famously friendly, nonstops out the wazoo, and so reliable. In fact, the Wall Street Journal ranked us #1, first among U.S. airlines. I guess the answer to who's on first is Southwest Airlines, official airline of your Chicago Cubs. Based on WSJ's 2025 rankings, see southwest.com/WSJ.
Shop Grand Appliance for expert advice, fast delivery, and the lowest prices every day on top brands like Electrolux, Frigidaire, and more. Visit grandappliance.com for full details.
Let's see what's on tap here in the 6th inning, sponsored by Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. And it's great to have Yuengling back as one of our big sponsors also, Patrick. So great to have them. And Cubs need to get some runs and get some outs here in the 6th.
Right now, Ben Brown will try to take care of the latter part of that statement, Ron, as he's on the mound. C.J. Abrams batting. First pitch in for a strike. Washington on top, 7-3. A 6-run 4th inning rally, the big inning of the day for either team. Abrams drove in 2 with a clutch bases-loaded drive off the fence in the right field corner. He was cut down trying to stretch it into a double, but 2 runs scored on the play. Jacob Young had a 2-run homer during the rally.
Call is overturned. Washington has 2 remaining.
A challenge on that last pitch, and the call was overturned. It was called a strike, but indeed it was out of the zone, so the count is 2-1. Swing and a miss by Abrams. Only 3 people can challenge a call: pitcher, catcher, batter. No managers, nobody from the field of play except the pitcher and catcher. Ground ball right side, fielded by the Cubs second baseman Horner. Waits for Bush to get over to the bag and then feeds the ball to him for out number 1.
Yeah, and in that challenge process, I think you got 2 seconds to make the call. You got to do it right away. If you're going to challenge, you got to challenge. If not, and you wait just a little bit, they're going to stop from being able to challenge.
You've had a chance to see the ABS automated ball strike system in spring training, as I have, Ron. Here's a swing and a foul back. My initial impression was very favorable. I thought, this is going to work. I think it's going to work just fine.
I think the challenge, the way it's challenged, the amount of time spent by the hitter, catcher, or pitcher, as that pitch misses down by Browning, counts 1-1. And then how long it takes to actually see whether the challenge is overturned or not is very short period of time. So I'm in favor of all of that. I just hope that the strike zones, you move it with each hitter, of the size of the zone, because a 6'7" guy strike zone is a lot different than a 5'9" guy. And, so that's the one issue that you wonder about. But other than that, it's been very, very good so far.
Interesting you would bring up that. Here's a pitch outside of the left-handed batting Nunez. Major League Baseball measuring the standing height of each player to determine their individual strike zone, their standing height. Now my question would be, and I think it's a natural one, how about guys that bat out of a crouch, that have a little bit of a crouch in their natural stance?
Yeah. There's been some guys that hit like totally crouched over. The first one that really comes to mind that hit was Ricky Henderson. Remember how low Ricky got to hit?
Sure. Nunez waiting for the 3-2 from Ben Brown. 7-3 Washington leading, 6th inning. The pitch high, ball 4. It's a 1-out walk. And the batter, Keibert Ruiz. But when I saw that, I thought they're measuring the standing height. You should almost have a picture of a guy when he was batting and measure him in that area instead of a standing height. If a guy is 6'7", but he hits out of a big crouch, he might only be like a 6'3" batter. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. 100%. First out of the inning, sponsored by Xfinity. Reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity. Imagine that.
Ruiz, left-handed batting catcher, waits. The runner goes. The pitch high. Throw to second base. Throw offline. Stolen base for Nunez. Kelly's throw tailing to the first base side of the bag. Dansby had to leave the bag and come in front of the bag to make the catch and had no chance to tag the sliding Nunez, who gets a stolen base.
And Nunez got a big jump at first. Dansby cut in trying to catch this ball and tag Nunez, but he was already past him at second base.
Keibert Ruiz will take a strike, 2-1. Skies are brightening up a little bit, still cloudy and breezy and cool. There's a pop-up foul out of play, but in coming to Wrigley Field now, Ron, for this is year number 31 for me here at Wrigley. I've seen weather a lot worse than this on opening day. A lot worse.
Yeah, it's getting up this morning, having coffee, and walking out on the deck. It was 70 degrees. That one's fall off to the left.
Yeah.
But we knew, they run, somewhere around game time it was going to change. And I ran into Tom Ricketts earlier today when Boog and I were walking into the ballpark together earlier this morning. And Tom made a comment, we're going to see all 4 seasons today here at Wrigley Field. I thought that was the perfect comment from the owner of the Chicago Cubs. Yep.
Isn't that a song by Sting? She can be all 4 seasons in one day. Not sure if that has anything to do with what you just said. Here's a swing and a foul off to the left out of play.
I'm going to go with it, though, as a partner. Sure, yeah.
2-2 on Ruiz. I remember the first opening day that I worked with Ron Santo, 1996, right in these exact same chairs that you and I are sitting in. Bouncer toward the middle. Over to his right is Horner, gloving it and throwing it to first in time. On the play, Nunez advances to third. Ruiz is out number 2. The batter now is Jacob Young. Washington on top, 7-3 here in the top of the 6th with 2 away and a man at third. But the starting pitchers were Jamie Navarro, who's a name from the past
absolutely.
for the Cubs, big hard-throwing right-hander, and Andy Ashby.
Oh, yeah.
A right-hander for San Diego. Also
teammate.
A hard thrower.
Yeah.
And I think that's his nephew that pitches
That's
for
exactly right.
Milwaukee. Is it
Yep.
Andrew Ashby or Alan Ashby?
It is his nephew, though, that's for sure. Yep.
Here comes the 1-0 pitch now on the way. It's swung on and missed by Jacob Young. And the sky was as clear as a bell. Beautiful blue, sunny sky. 36 degrees, however. And it looked like Navarro and Ashby were both throwing about 105 miles an hour. It really did.
Yeah, I agree.
Here's a wild pitch bouncing away from Kelly, and coming in to score is Nunez, and now Washington has taken a 7-3 lead. Make it an 8-3 lead.
It's like a little knuckle curve from, absolutely, from Browning. He just buries this knuckle curve. In this weather, it's tough to just feel the baseball all the time. He bounces this one about 2 feet, maybe even more in front of home plate. Nothing Kelly could do as the run scores.
8-3. Here's a fly ball to deep right, going back short.
Ball deep center. Edmonds going back. The ball is going long. 3-run home run. Bowman shot. The Jays on the board first. In one swing, Boba makes it 3-0 and chases Shohei Ohtani from Game 7. Breaking ball, and he was all over it.
Where are you from?
Chicago.
1 ball, 1 strike to Listad. And he lines one into left field. That's going to drop in front of Bo Jackson. Nielsen around third, coming to the plate. Good! Oh, and Bo rolls him out.
What a oh my, what a oh. Wow, that Bo Jackson, the bionic hip with the arm. Man, I'm impressed, and I'm not usually impressed that much.
I was so inspired by what you were making that I want to do my own all-star ballpark bite, but I'm thinking we take some of that brisket that you make, and I'm going to do like a little slider. Got the pepper jack cheese, some American, get it going with some of the barbecue sauce that you have, that spicy, delicious one, and then caramelized onions. Make like a little sandwich. Be cool?
Sound like a plan.
I think we did good.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Thank
Great.
you.
Thanks, Chef.
Carson Kelly's on deck for the Cubs. Who's on Deck is sponsored by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit TimberTech.com. Pat?
All right, Zach, here we go. Bottom of inning number 6. Cubs need to rally, trailing 8-3. And the right-hander Lord comes back. This pitch is going to be in there for a called strike. 0-2 on Kelly. Carson has flied to right and drawn a walk and scored a run. Lord, kind of a sidewinder. The right-hander brings it down low for a ball. 1-2. I see that 3/4 sidearm run. I always think he probably throws a sinker.
Yeah, and his ball's going to go one way or the other. When he throws the curve, he's going to get on side of the ball.
Outside 2-2.
Which is what that one did, and it stays pretty flat. And then the fastball is going to come in and go down.
Brad Lord delivers. Here's a pitch fouled away by Kelly. When you're down by 5, run as a batter, can't you generally expect to see a lot of strikes? You don't think the guy's going to be having any interest in walking any hitters with his team leading. Here's a drive down the right field line. That's a base hit. Leadoff single, Carson Kelly. Let's see if that leads to bigger and better things.
I had a chance to watch Kelly take batting practice. Him and Nico were together in a hitting group almost the entire spring. And you talk about a guy that really understands what he's trying to do as a player and as a hitter and working at things, and he just does exactly what you want. You want to get on base, he inside outs this two-seamer and shoots it the other way.
Let's see if Moises Ballesteros can reach as he takes a strike.
Now, Pat, the flags have changed all of a sudden again now, and now they're blowing back towards the right field corner where they were blowing straight in last inning.
Cubs could use a long ball right about now. And the guy at the plate can provide those every now and again. Moises Ballesteros, he takes outside. It's 1-1.
Boy, right now would be a good time for a hanging slider about middle of the plate.
Here's a swing and a high fly ball, deep right field. Going back is Weimer, now coming in as the wind grabs it, and he'll make the catch. It was a good swing, Ron, but he just got underneath it.
Yeah, that's the pitch we were talking about. I think that's that slider that stays flat and is coming in. And Ballesteros put a big swing on it, but I don't think he clicked it on the barrel. And once that ball got out there, then the wind got a hold of it and started bringing it back towards the infield. Big swing, just didn't click it on the barrel.
Milwaukee is leading the White Sox 8-1. They're in the 6th inning up in Wisconsin. Swanson will swing and miss. And the count 0-1. Cubs baseball today brought to you by Northwestern Medicine. Whenever there's a batter or hitter challenge, those challenges are sponsored by Northwestern Medicine. No balls and 2 strikes now on Dansby. Swanson has walked and scored a run and grounded out and drove in a run with the ground out. Dansby hits one in the air, foul to right and out of play.
Speaking of Northwestern medicine, just probably 4 or 5 days ago, right before I came home from Arizona, I had a chance to talk to Doc Adams, and he said to say hi to you. Yeah. He's probably listening right now, critiquing our broadcast as he usually does.
Former team doctor?
Yeah, long-time team doctor for the Chicago Cubs. Long time. Great guy. Great doctor, although he's listening, so we don't like to give him a big head, but that's okay.
He's gone into, well, he did go into private practice. Has he officially retired yet?
I believe he's retired now. Yep, I believe he's officially retired.
He was a team doctor then. He was an ear, nose, and wallet doctor for a while. Here's a chopper foul left side. And now I think he has retired.
He's worked on enough wallets, you say?
Yeah. He's probably gotten into your pocket a few times.
Yeah, I can't see. Yeah, he's. Oh, that's funny.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. A swing and a foul off to the right, out of play.
You check your phone. I'm sure it's already blown.
Yeah, he's one of our favorite people. Very, very smart
friends.
Man.
Yeah, one of our great friends. Ears, nose, and wallet.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Now the 1-2, swinging a foul back by Dansby. Well, you're going to hear a lot about anniversaries this year, Ron. This is the 10-year anniversary, of course, of the Cubs winning the World Series. And it's the 150th anniversary of the franchise.
Yeah, how about that?
Going back to 1876. Swanson swings and fouls it back. And I was just looking at some baseball history notes on this date down through the years. And we'll get to a few of those and see what's happened on March 26th. The pitch to Swanson. Check swing bouncer right out in front of the plate. And the pitcher will throw him out, and that's out number 2 on the play. Kelly will advance to second. With 2 down, a man at second, it'll bring up Matt Shaw.
Little two-seamer running right in on the hands of Dansby. He did not want to swing and made contact with that ball, and it did. It just dribbled right out towards the mound.
Let's see if Matt Shaw can pick up an RBI. 2 down, a man at second. Shaw has flied out and drawn a walk today. Brad Lord, the right-hander, glancing back at the runner and deals. Here's a pitch low and away, ball 2. Here's where you'd like to see Shaw get on, because you got a guy with power and a left-handed batter on deck in Michael Busch. You'd like to see him bat if you're a Cub fan in this inning. 2-0 pitch is a strike, 2-1.
Yeah, if you're going to swing, if you're Matty and you know, now he gets the strike, I'd love to see him do the same thing that Kelly did and take a shot at right field.
Here's a bouncing ball to short.
Pop quiz. How do you go from Captain Clutch to the Iron Horse through a milestone and a marathon? The answer is on Hall of Fame Connections.
The captain, Derek Sanderson Jeter, is one of the winningest players in Major League history. He was wearing these very batting gloves when he notched one of those most memorable hits, the 3,000th of his career.
Are we supposed to spit in them like they do the batting gloves?
No spitting. This is a non-spitting museum.
He's just the second player in history whose 3,000th hit was a home run. The first was a former teammate from the Yankees' 1996 World Series championship team. But before he began his Cooperstown-bound career, Boggs would cross paths with another future Hall of Famer. September 6, 1995, the Iron Man played his 2,000th 131st consecutive game, surpassing the unbreakable record of the Iron Horse.
Now that's how you pass the torch. Catch every episode of Hall of Fame Connections on MLB.tv and discover your own connections to the game at baseballhall.org.
Wood will lead off this seventh inning for the Nationals, and he'll take a strike from Ben Brown. Washington got 1 in the second, 6 in the fourth, and 1 in the sixth. The Cubs got their runs, 2 in the third and 1 in the fourth, and they trail 8-3. Brown ready for the 1-1. And that's going to be in there for a called strike. Well, let's see what's happened on this date in baseball history. Swing and a miss. Good fastball, guts him. That's the best fastball we've seen from Ben Brown in this game. That's out number 1 as Wood fans. And the batter is Andres Chaparro.
Now, I would say, as early as the seasons are starting now, you know, they would start 2 weeks or so later years ago. So what do we got in baseball history?
Not much.
Yeah, that's what I would think. I would been like,
here's a swing and a fly ball into shallow left. Swanson circling underneath it in shallow left, and the shortstop makes the catch, and that's out number 2. Many of the notes from this date run involve things like players signing contracts right. Or franchises being sold.
Yep.
I've also got an opening day file that I've managed to hang on to over the years. And I can take a look at a few of these. Do you know who the first president was that threw out a pitch on opening day of the baseball season? William Howard Taft. 1910. And right after he threw it, the Senators' Walter Johnson pitched a 1-hit shutout to beat the A's 3-0. That was back in April of 1910. Good inning for Brown. 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom of the seventh. Time for the stretch. 8-3. Nationals lead. This is the score. And the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, another baseball season. Let's go. Let's cheer hard for the Cubs. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. So let's root for the Cubbies. If they all win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball.
Hey, it's Alertus Gurriel Dog.
That's a nice touch.
Pena power.
The perils of wearing earrings when you've got netting on the field.
That young fan, not a Newt Bar fan.
What a present for Mom.
Oh my goodness, look at this guy.
Uso, yeah, Jay Uso, yeah. Ended up just shot putting it. Not blocked when there's nobody on base. There's a little debate for Domo and Kim watching the replay together.
That's beautiful, isn't it?
What is it about baseball cards that make them so special? Why do you enjoy doing that?
Well, the biggest
method. As Mike's nurse, I'm proud to have helped him breathe freely again. Northwestern Medicine. Better.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. After suffering an injury, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? At Morgan & Morgan, we will hold your hand every step of the way. From our one-click sign-up, mobile apps, and 24/7 availability, we make it easy to get your case started right from the comfort of your couch. All firms are not the same. The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, 332 South Michigan Avenue, Chicago.
Getting a little bit late here. Bottom of the 7th inning. Cubs trailing by 5 runs. And let's see if Michael Busch can crank up a Cubs rally. With that wind blowing, well, we've already seen Washington have a 6-run rally today. But whenever the wind is blowing like this, Ron, you do see the occasional big inning. You get a couple of guys on. And here's the line drive down the right field line. That's going to be a fair ball, bouncing another corner. Michael Busch is going to have a leadoff double. Busch having a big day. That's his 3rd hit of the afternoon, his 2nd double. He also drove in a run. And let's see if this sparks a rally.
Michael Busch picking up where he left off at the end of last season. He's been on base 4 times, as you said, Pat. 2 leadoff doubles, a single, a run scored, an RBI, and a walk. So, leadoff guy extraordinaire is what you'd say, but the Cubs need some points.
Alex Bregman will take outside. Brad Lord is still pitching for Washington. Obi Milner now doing some work in the Cub bullpen, getting ready. Busch leads at 2nd. Bregman takes inside for a ball. Bregman has grounded out, walked, and popped out, looking for his first hit in a Cub uniform. It's 2-0. He'd gladly take a base on balls right now. And that's part of his game. He takes ball 3, 3-0. Certainly taking one here, you would think.
Absolutely. Doubles by Cubs batter, sponsored by Northwest Airlines. Reliable, comfortable, convenient. Southwest just makes sense.
Bregman in a taking mode will look at a strike. 3-1.
Great to have Southwest Airlines back. I had a chance to fly them back home from Phoenix just a couple days ago.
Now the 3-1. And that's a strike. Now Bregman can be a bit more aggressive. It's 3-2. He just wants to get on base any way he can. Cubs need base runners, down by 5. The 3-2 ground ball, base hit right field. Stopping at third is Busch. Welcome to the Cubs, Alex Bregman. That's his first hit in a Cub uniform, the first of many. And more importantly, in this spot, it puts 2 men on with nobody out, and now the potential for a big inning is starting to look realistic.
Well, you start talking about guys that understand how to play our game at a really high level. You know, the infield, the second baseman playing right up the middle. There's a massive hole on the right side, wind howling in from left center. What do? Shoot the hole on the right side and keep the inning moving. Great piece of hitting by Bregman.
Ian Happ batting left-handed. Happ is 1 for 3, and he'll take a strike. Cubs trail by 5. They have something cooking, though. 2 men on, nobody out.
At the 7th inning stretch was sponsored by Volvo XC90. Room for everyone, ready for whatever the road takes.
Happ 1 for 3 waiting. Runners lead first and third. Happ hits one in the air, foul. Out of play left side. No game tomorrow. Ron and Zach and I will be out here again on Saturday and Sunday. Cade Horton against Miles Michaelis, former Cardinal, now with Washington. And that's the Saturday game at 1:20. Horton against Michaelis. Sunday also at 1:20. Happ swings and misses. Strike 3, and that's out number 1. This date in baseball history, we've already mentioned some history notes. Brought to you by villageofbedfordpark.com. It's time to make history for your business in Bedford Park. 1 away, 2 men on. Pete Crow Armstrong waiting. Pete 1 for 3. And he'll take low and outside. Well, a long ball would look very big right now. It would get the crowd back into it, for one thing. And the pitch, swing and a miss, 1-1.
I like Pete was aggressive on that inside fastball that he just got. Pitch in. Actually, might have been a change, but it was an inside pitch, inside corner. He took a big rip and tried to launch one.
Fastball is high. 2 balls and a strike on Pete. He has struck out, singled, and popped out. 7th inning. 1 away, men lead at first and third. And the 2-1 bunted toward third. Beautiful bunt. That's good baseball. It's a run-scoring bunt single for Pete Crow Armstrong. He gets an RBI, his second of the day. And now it's an 8-4 ball game. I like that play, Ron.
Well, there's sometimes you want your guys to do that. You want them to bunt and just drive in a run and take advantage. There are other times you don't. This is definitely one of those times that a bunt single drives in a run and keeps the line moving. Is an outstanding play by Pete Crow Armstrong.
Now it's an 8-4 ball game. Second RBI of the day for Pete Crow Armstrong. He drove in 95 a year ago, so he's off to a good start in that category already. And now if Nico can get on, then the Cubs would get the tying run to the plate. Let's see if Nico can get on. The pitch on the way. Horner will take inside, ball 1.
Wind really whipping up around home plate. Nico had to step out. Now Ruiz having issues with dust around home plate. Wind just howling in from left center field. For the last hour and a half, it has not slowed down a bit.
Any fly ball to straightaway right or right center is going to get about a 40 to 50 foot carry. Low and inside, ball 2.
Well, you can see Lord really trying to pitch the right-handed hitters inside and not have them do exactly what you're talking about and shoot that ball the other way, to get help from the wind.
Nico, nothing for 3 today. He'll take inside, ball 3. He's taking all the way here, right?
I would think so, yes.
Now the fans getting into it. Cubs trail 8-4. 1 away, runners at first and second. And there's a strike. We are in the 7th inning. But you're at the stage now where you feel like you have to get another run or 2 at least in this inning right now to stay really in this game. And the 3-1. Strike 2 call. Nico taking all the way.
Inside fastball, another 2-seamer inside. That one borderline. Could have challenged. It was off the plate in, but barely.
Yeah. And now the 3-2 from the right-hander, Lord. Nico hits a ground ball slowly. Third base side. That's going to be a tough play. It's a foul ball. A foul ball off the foot of Nico. It was foul immediately. The home plate umpire, Porter, holding up both hands. Nico never left the batter's box. I did not realize it hit him. I was watching the third baseman, House, and the pitcher, Lord, chasing that ball. Clearly it hit him in the left foot.
Well, you see the replay. It hit him right on top of the foot. Wow.
2 on, 1 away, a run in. 8-4 Washington. 3-2 pitch. Ground ball toward the middle. Glove by Nunez. Steps on second. Throws to first.
There goes Gibson. Bouncing ball, hit and run. It bounces off his helmet. Gibson coming to third, and they have him in a rundown. The ball hit Gibson's helmet.
And the fact that Kirk Gibson doesn't have a lot of hair probably aided the Cubs. A little more hair, the helmet stays on, the ball goes into the outfield. One of the strangest plays you'll ever see in the game.
This is a good one right here. The Padres. Little pinstripe unis. We would wear these every Thursday. When I kept it, I wanted to keep it all dirty. I always felt like if you didn't get dirty in a baseball game, you kind of didn't really play that day. So I had my pine tar there, a little dirt in the front side of it, but the brown and orange, really cool cleats. All the fans really enjoyed it as much as the players did.
Homered in the first, his third leadoff home run in the postseason. Oh my goodness! Shohei Ohtani! Wow! Up and over the roof! A majestic blast! Ohtani dropped jaws everywhere! And it's 4-0 Dodgers!
117 off the bat, 469 feet. He is the first Dodger to ever have 2 multi-home run games in the same postseason.
Won't swell in the summer heat. You get the timeless beauty of wood with lasting protection and low maintenance. Your home deserves the #1 brand of siding in North America. James Hardie Building Products, siding with the Cubs. Learn more at jameshardy.com. That's jameshardy.com. Hey Cubs fans, make history with your business in the Village of Bedford Park. To learn more, contact Adam Colopy at ACOLLOPY at villageofbedfordpark.com.
Top of the 8th inning here at Wrigley. Cubs down 8-4, and this 8th inning is sponsored by Cars for Kids. 877 Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K. To donate your car today, Patrick.
And Milner will be the new Cubs pitcher. Left-hander Hobie Milner. His first pitch is outside for a ball. 8-4 Washington, 8th inning. Dalen Lyle, the batter, hits a drive into right center. Shaw came in, now goes back and makes the catch. Lyle hit that ball hard, but that's out number 1.
Yeah, that ball hit right on the button, and that ball going to right is getting some carry, that's for sure. And Matty, using that speed, just outran that ball.
Milner gets the first man he faces in a Cub uniform. Joey Wiemer, the batter. Wiemer with a home run, hits a chopper to a charging Bregman, who tries to barehand the ball on the second hop and misses it. That'll be a base hit. That was a try where Bregman came in, tried to barehand the ball on the dead run, got caught kind of in between hops and never got the handle.
Yeah, you get days like today and that ball's chopping. It's his only play to barehand and throw. He never does get a handle on that ball, and it just trickled by him.
Give Wiemer a base hit. C.J. Abrams, the batter. Lefty to lefty. Abrams takes outside.
And Wiemer's had a pretty good day. A homer in the second. Walked and scored. Single in the fifth. Then now singles in the 8th.
Fly ball, center field, should be caught by PCA, and it is. And that's out number 2. Abrams is retired. And the batter is Nasim Nunez.
Waving that ball, routine fly ball to center. It actually hit pretty well by Abrams, and then Pete's kind of camped under, and then all of a sudden he has to come running in to make that catch.
Milner, big tall left-hander, set and fires to Nunez, who fouls it away. Miller signed as a free agent by the Cubs last December. Appeared in 8 games in Cactus League play. Pitched with the Texas Rangers a year ago. Did a pretty good job. 73 ball games. 3.8 ERA.
Hey, you think of the Cubs left-handers in the bullpen between Milner, who very established, very good left-hander. That one hit Nunez, I believe, Pat.
Nunez gets nailed by the pitch.
But as I was saying, you think about the Cubs lefties out of the pen between Milner and we saw Caleb Thielbar, who signed back with the Cubs as a free agent. He had an excellent year for the Cubs. So the left-handed situation for the Cubs out of the pen in very good shape. 2 good, solid veterans coming out of the pen.
Nunez was grazed by that pitch up around the letters in the chest area. I thought it really hurt him for a minute, but really it grazed him. He's all right. 2 out, 2 on. Keibert Ruiz the batter, and he'll take a strike. Eight to 4 Washington. Cubs in a spot here in the 8th inning where they can ill afford to fall any further behind. So this is a very big at-bat in this game for Keibert Ruiz. One ball and 1 strike on Ruiz. A year ago, these two teams split their 6 games. Oddly, the visiting team took 2 out of 3.
Pop quiz. How do you go from Captain Clutch to the Iron Horse through a milestone and a marathon? The answer is on Hall of Fame Connections.
AmVutra.com. Ask your doctor about AmVutra for ATTRCM.
Benny's goes to the Dogs.
Only David Cohn, Ron Guidry, and Mel Stottlemyre had opening day starts of 6+ innings, 2 or fewer hits, and no runs allowed. .com.
New pitcher here in the 9th, and it is Jacob Webb.
Authentic here at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, they've got the season covered. Visit MLBshop.com/Cubs, the official source for your Chicago Cubs gear. Top of the 9th, 8-4 Nationals. The 9th inning is sponsored by Circa Resort and Casino. Get ready for the time of your life. CircaLasVegas.com. Pat?
And Zach, I believe it has begun to rain here at Wrigley. We knew there was a chance for rain all day long. Here's a bouncing ball to third, through Bregman and down the left field line. Bregman came in, tried to short up the ball, brought the glove up just a little bit too soon, and it snuck underneath. I'm sure that happened to you a time or two.
Yeah, there's no doubt that ball hit sharply. Bregman playing at the back of the third. And this ball eats him up. He comes up, thinking the ball's going to come up. It stays down and goes through the 5-hole. Well, they gave that a single. They're going to probably review that one again.
James Wood, the batter. Wood will take outside. Jacob Webb, the new pitcher for the Chicago Cubs. Wood today 0 for 4. He struck out twice. Left-handed batter will look at a strike. So Washington trying to win a road game on opening day. Just talking about their 2019 World Series championship team and some of the personnel. Here's the 1-1, swinging a drive foul off to the left out of play. I mentioned they had Juan Soto and Max Scherzer and Steven Strasburg. They also had former Cub Yan Gomes as one of their catchers, this Washington team. They had Trey Turner at shortstop. And they had a very good player by the name of Anthony Rendon, who went to the Angels as a free agent, has been injured virtually the entire length of his contract. But at one time, Ron, I would say he was one of the best right-handed batters in all of baseball.
Yeah, at that time, he was like the coveted free agent. And it just never worked out for him once he left Washington.
Swing and a miss, and Wood is gone. Webb gets the strikeout.
I mean, I think he signed a $180 million deal or $175 deal with the Angels, and he really hasn't played much at all.
The last I read, he's been injured so frequently, and the injuries have been so severe that the two were discussing some kind of a buyout.
Yeah.
Where let's just end this relationship and we'll pay you whatever. And I'm sure lawyers were involved, insurance people probably. And now we are getting some rain. And the challenge, there was a challenge, and it was confirmed. Washington batter Garcia thought it was a ball, but it was a strike, so they lose that challenge. And here's a pitch outside from Webb. Toast of the game ball player. It's time for us to name our Cubs toast of the game ball player. I think we're going to be in agreement with Michael Bush. What do you think?
Yep, toast of the game ball player presented by Benny's Beverage Depot. Benny's official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs. Great to have them back. You and I have been friends with people from Benny's for a long time. Michael Bush, our toast of the game ball player.
Cubs are trailing 8-4 on this chilly Thursday afternoon, starting to rain a little bit harder. Please stay tuned for Zach's post-game show if you're getting in your car and you were here earlier. Zach will have all the other scores. Here's a grounder back to the mound. The throw to second in time. They get the force. The ball not hit sharply enough to get a double play. 1-6 on the put out at second. 2 down with a man at first. 8-4 Washington leading. And the batter is Brady House.
Jacob Webb entering the ball game. Cubs pitching changes sponsored by James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs.
House hits a drive deep right center. Might be trouble. All the way back is Shaw at the wall, and that's gone. That is a 2-run home run for Brady House. And that one just about puts it on ice. That gives the Nationals a 10-4 lead here in the 9th inning.
Well, that ball starts out in right center field and gets blown all the way over towards the well and ends up just above the basket in right. That ball had to be blown 40 feet to the right and given some help to get to the bleachers.
House with his first of the year. Washington leading in a commanding manner now, 10-4 here in the 9th inning. 2 down, nobody on. Dalen Lyle will take outside for a ball.
And all the talk about spring training for the Nationals is they pitched it incredibly well, didn't swing the bats all that well. Now we got a 40-degree day at Wrigley Field, and they put up 10 runs.
And 12 hits.
And 12 hits. Hey, there's baseball for you. Go figure, right?
If you ever need to feel humble, just try to predict what's going to happen in a baseball game or a series or a season.
Yeah.
And you'll be humbled, I promise you.
Yeah.
I was listening to Craig Counsell with your interview with him.
Do you see yourself maybe one day after baseball, like maybe food critic, food writer?
I would love to do that. That's the plan. I've been doing it ever since I was in the big leagues. It's just fun. It's fun to interact with people like the fans, because a lot of my followers are baseball fans. Mm-hmm. So it's nice to interact with them on a topic that's not baseball. A lot of people seem to rally around that. I mean, who doesn't love good food?
We have a couple things out here for the first acknowledged unassisted triple play. And Cy Young said, "Neil, where are you going?" He said, 3 outs.
Neil Ball had a fairly short career as a big leaguer, but continued playing in the minors, where he encountered true baseball royalty.
Now we're going to connect to Babe Ruth.
He dominated the game like no one else had before.
I'm holding Babe Ruth's bat.
During a 1934 baseball barnstorming tour of Japan, Ruth faced 17-year-old pitcher Eiji Sawamura. Sawamura became a hero in Japan, and the Nippon Professional Baseball League's version of the Cy Young Award bears his name. Maeda won the award in 2010 and again in 2015, when the runner-up was Shohei Ohtani.
First pitch crushing! Oh, man!
Like the 3 outs of a triple play. It all connects. Go to baseballhall.org to plan your visit to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York, and catch every episode of Hall of Fame Connection.
Consent of the Chicago Cubs. Pat?
So, Zach, you're preparing the post-game show, I trust?
As we speak.
I know you're going to give some scores, some updates. It looks like Milwaukee is mashing the White Sox. Is that 14-1?
White Sox just scored, so it's 14-2 Milwaukee in the top of the ninth.
We go to the bottom of the ninth inning here. Alex Bregman had a single his last time up. He is 1 for 3 with a walk. Cubs trail by 6. And the left-hander Perez will deliver a strike, 1-1.
Catch of the game today, sponsored by Catch Des Moines. That play was a real trip, and so is Des Moines. It's a trip. Make it yours at CatchDesMoines.com.
Cionel Perez delivers. And that's going to be strike 2, 1-2, and a challenge by Bregman. He thought the pitch was out of the strike zone, and let's see. It was in the strike zone, so it's 1-2. The pitch, swing and a miss, and that's strike 3, and it's out number 1. So Bregman is retired. One away, and Ian Happ coming up.
And opponents' pitching changes are sponsored by our friends from Sloan, official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs, leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Learn more at Sloan.com.
Happ batting right-handed now, will take outside. Cubs offense today. Pete Crow Armstrong drove in a couple with singles in the 3rd and 7th innings. Michael Busch drove in a run with a 3rd inning base hit. Cubs also got an RBI from Swanson on a 4th inning bounce out. But it is not enough. There's a strike to Happ and the count 2-1.
Stolen bases this season. They're powered by Atturo Tire, Chicago's hometown tire. Find a dealer at Atturo.com, and they are back again this year, sponsoring Stolen Base. Thank you for them coming back.
Deep drive to left off the bat of Ian Happ. This ball is toward the track, and now coming in and making the catch is Wood. The wind knocked that ball down. That had plenty of force behind it on a normal day, but the wind is really blowing in, and that kept that ball in the yard.
Yeah, that ball ends up 2/3 of the way up the bleachers and left. And today that ball ends up, they start out as Wood and left at the track and starts running in. It's pretty amazing.
Cubs are down to their last chance. Pete Crow Armstrong batting. Pete has driven in a couple of runs with a pair of singles. But Ron, I'm reminded, and again, I've been doing this for a long time. I know you've been around the game your whole life, too. Opening day always feels like it's more than one game. And I'm not sure why. And when you win, it feels like more than just one win. And when you lose, it feels like a lot more than just one loss. And I don't know why.
Yeah, it's anticipation, right? We've been waiting all winter long to start the baseball season. You get a packed house of Cub fans in a frenzy, or any, the hometown fan in a frenzy, and loving to be back at the ballpark. So you can understand it, but at the end of the day, it's one win, one loss.
And everyone will enjoy the day off tomorrow, and we'll be right back out here again on Saturday. 1:20 ball game. Zach will have the pregame show for you, and it's a swing and a miss, strike 3, and this ball game is over. A very disappointing opening day for the Chicago Cubs, as the Washington Nationals win by a score of 10-4. We'll be back with the totals right after this on The Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
This is Chicago Cubs baseball with Pat Hughes and Ron Coomer on the Cubs Radio Network.
It's hard to imagine buying anything more important than your future home.
I know the place is empty, but